Who are you? What are you doing here? And why are you so old? I miss you too, guys. Hello. I am back. Where is chat? You have disappeared. You have disappeared from me. You have disappeared from me. Why is this? Explain. America, explain. It's because I've forgotten to set you up. It is my own fault. It was my doing that caused your downfall. Oh, dearie me. Oh, what a tragedy. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Bing! There you are. Hello, one and all. I am back. I am back today. So, let's have a little chit-chat, shall we? All I want to do today is a little bit of a Zatsu coming back. I wanted to talk to you all about how things have been. Most of all, I want to give you guys a brief idea of why I was gone, but I don't want to tell you all about it just yet. I think ideally by the end of the week, I want to do a little stream where I kind of do a bit of story time, which should be great. But let me see. Lulu, thank you so much for the super. On your 4th birthday in the clan, that is. Happy birthday. Love you too, Lulu. Mwah. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Kaidos, thank you very much for the super as well. I missed you too. So, let's discuss, shall we? Basically, I went on a little trip because I had some business to see to. To give you a little, I guess, teaser, I got a very concerning letter in the post a couple of weeks ago, and I took one look at it and I thought, oh God, something's happened and I need to go and have a look at that. So I sort of had this idea that, okay, I'm going to take a week to make sure I can see to that. And most of all, I was like, okay, well, even if it's nothing, I'll have, I think it's high time I had a little bit of time to rest. So, I'm going to enjoy my time somewhere else. And I also had some other work going on with some folks out in that part of the world. And all I will tell you about where I went, I'm not going to tell you right now because I guess I can deliver that with dramatic effect. But I can tell you right now, it was not Japan. I was working somewhere, but it wasn't Japan. So what was I doing? Well, you'll have to wait and see. But just know it's quite an interesting story. And I'm looking forward to telling you all about it very, very soon. Koya, thank you very much for the super. I miss you too. Okaeri. Tadaima. Tadaima. But yes. So today, the stream had a funny little issue. I rearranged the stream to be an hour earlier and then immediately said, oh wait, shit, no, it's fine. And then we did it at the normal time. Anyway, this is because my dad came over today, and I was basically like, Dad, I don't drive, and I have 1 million boxes that I've accumulated over the course of like literally years of boxes that have just been piling up in my spare room for so long. And I was like, I need to take these down to the tip. That's what we in the UK, the tip is what we would call the recycling center or the garbage dump. We call it the tip. So I needed to take it down to the tip, and then Dad says, all right, I can be there at 4. And I'm like, oh, brilliant. All right, we'll do that. And so I think, okay, I want to set stream a bit earlier so that I have plenty of time to, round the stream off without rushing. And then the moment I've made that, he texts me and says, sorry, they don't do it that late. It'll have to be earlier. And I was like, oh, brilliant. So it's fine then. And so then we went back. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of unpacking. I've been doing a lot of not unpacking. I've just been kind of taking boxes and flattening them all day, which has definitely been, I'll tell you what, I have been hurting myself all day. I have been hurting myself constantly, and not intentionally. I have just been getting into scrapes when I've been doing this physical stuff. So the one box I was packing down and flattening, a little bit of it went underneath the nail on my thumb, and that bled for a little while, and I was like, oh dear. At one point, I had my vacuum cleaner kind of leant up against the wall, and I was sat on the floor like packing some stuff down, and then suddenly it sort of slid and then fell and hit me in the head, and it was like bang. I think I was wearing my headphones listening to some tunes. I was listening to my favorite song ever, Giorgio by Moroder by Daft Punk, and I'm pretty sure my big chunky Bluetooth headphones saved my life. Because it was a heavy vacuum cleaner and it hit me straight in the noggin. That's another great term for you. Noggin is a term for head in the UK. Although you wouldn't say that Shorty was giving you some noggin. That I don't think anyone has ever said that. But that's actually great. Maybe I should say that. You'll have to come over and let me try that out. But yeah, so it was a heavy vacuum cleaner. It smacked me in the head, but it smacked the band of my headphone. So I think I'm alive for that as well. Oh yeah, the US people in America do say noggin sometimes as well. Oh, that's funny. Kin Roomba is fine. Kin Roomba is just fine. And then as well, I stubbed my toe while I was walking around. I stubbed my toe on a thingy. What did I stub my toe on? I stubbed my toe on my coffee table as I was bringing some cardboard around, and that really hurt. And yeah, I've just been getting banged and scraped all day. It's been ridiculous, but I'm doing okay now. So don't worry about me. I've healed up. I'm feeling better. Naku, thank you very much for the super. Busy moving lately, so I haven't been able to create anything. Start creating once again when I'm done with the move. Oh, no pressure. I'm glad you've been having a good move. And I'm glad you're taking care of it. Moving is stressful. I'm glad you've been taking care of yourself. Angelia, thank you for the super. I miss you too. I miss you so much. What does this say? Let me translate this lovely stuff. Xiangniani. Thank you so much. Missing you, loving you. That's so sweet. I love that. Trap, thank you for the super. The universe is out to get you again. It is. It always is. The universe wants me dead. Nadia, thank you for the Akusupa. Okairi Riguma. Okairigma. Okairigma. Thank you so much for the Akusupa. What a lovely coming home present. So we've got some interesting stuff planned. I think I want to play Love and Deep Space again. To be completely honest, I have not been playing it on my own since the first stream. But I've not been playing it since the first stream, but I am keen on playing it again. Most of all, I've been a little bit addicted to that new World of Warcraft expansion. I always get really sucked in whenever there's a new expansion. There's lots of daily stuff to do. So I've been enjoying that, coming up with new transmogs and things like that. But I do want to get back to Love and Deep Space when we start streaming it again, because I did really enjoy it the first time. Bippity beepity beepity boo, bippity boppity. Come on. Sarah, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I really appreciate that. And Kairos, thank you for the gifted as well. Sweden, thank you so much for the super. I miss you too. I miss you so very much. And Reiki, thank you for the super as well. I miss you. So, what else is going on? Lots of streams planned, lots of interesting stuff. I had a very interesting meeting this morning. Yes, Omi. We are joining Omi in a couple of weeks' time to teach him how to cook some stuff, which should be fun. Love Omi. That's going to be great. But I had an interesting meeting this morning. It was a strategy meeting. We were talking about some new ideas for my channel going forward. And the main takeaway, it's sort of a multi-stage thing. There's some stuff going on, but the main takeaway from today was Staffbase saying, "Bro, you got to make more YouTube shorts." And I'm like, okay, fine. But they've been doing a lot of really good work, and like have been sort of working on data and different things to try and show like this is what we want to work on. So I want to do more shorts, and the main ones I'm looking at the moment, since the English learning content has been doing so well, I'm really looking forward to doing a word of the day type thing. Yes, and I do want to do more horror shorts as well. I need to get back in touch with Melikas and try and put some of those together. So I really do want to do more of those, and I want to do this word of the day stuff because that's been doing really, really well. And I just like the idea of delivering of doing a short where it's like playing some classical music, you know, bum 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 bum. Ba, 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 ba. And then I say, good morning. Today's word of the day, the word of the day is wagwan. You might say wagwan to greet a friend. For example, and I say it in a very posh voice, and then I come out with like, teaching about a slang term. So I'm like, yo, wagwan, blood, what's going on? And I can explain the origin of the term, like this is a piece of Jamaican slang that became a part of multicultural London English, and then it became more like that. And so I think, explaining the cultural background of those terms and how they came to be a piece of slang, I think is really interesting. And it will probably draw in some interesting faces. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Luna, thank you so much for the super. Good to see you too. I missed you too. Say thank you for the super as well. Yeah. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. So that, and that's going to be interesting. And that's going to be very interesting as well. My husband is from Northern England. Oh, yes. Well, my mum actually spent most of, or a lot of her life in the north of England, in Yorkshire. My favourite piece of northern slang is, or particularly Yorkshire slang, is put thwood in thole. I've taught you guys about put thwood in thole before, but that means to close the door, which is hilarious. Bitey bye, right? Put thwood in thole. Yeah. The word of the day is mingin. Mingin means gross or disgusting. For example, nah, mate, that's mingin. Ni na na na. Okairi wan wan monsieur. Ho, 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 ho. Faye, thank you very much for the super. I missed you too. I love you. I have been reading a lot about animals. I've been on such a big bender learning about different, particularly sea life. I never thought I would really have that much of an interest, but I've been reading so much about sea animals. And I told you guys about this at the end of the last stream. But I've been like reading about manatees and about orca and about, obviously sea lions and, other pinnipeds and walrus. And I don't know why. I've just been so like, I've been having a bit of a nerd bender where I've just wanted to learn as much as possible about sea mammals. Another one that took my interest recently is, the mantis shrimp. You guys must know about the mantis shrimp, right? The mantis shrimp that can punch so hard that it creates a bubble that is hotter than the surface of the sun, and it just goes like ba-bang. And people, if you have a pet mantis shrimp, you need to feed it live crabs, and you can watch the mantis shrimp run over and just beat the crab to death, and it's like ping, 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 like these incredibly fast punches going. I find it really interesting, and it's, I guess, my interest in animals is always like, I'm always drawn to the ones that are incredibly friendly, and also the ones that are very not friendly. Something in the middle is always kind of uninteresting. So I always like it when it's, the manatee, for example. Do you know the manatee? There is never been a recorded instance throughout all of history that a manatee has attacked or harmed a human being. Never. It has never happened. The manatee is, it's called the sea cow because it's a herbivore that only eats plants off of the ocean floor. And there has never been a point, even though manatees are so heavy and probably could harm someone if they really wanted to, that it has never, ever, ever happened. Manatees, they come over and they give people hugs and stuff, but they have never harmed a human being in history, which is just crazy to me. It's never once happened. apparently, even though you're not allowed to pet manatees, manatees apparently come over and they will introduce people to their babies. The whole thing about even friendly animals is that what they'll always say is, okay, this animal is most likely not going to be aggressive, but you must not come between them and their children because instinctually they will attack you to protect their child. Manatees are like, yo, this is my baby, check it out. I don't know. There's something that's so sweet about the idea of an animal that, given they're so huge, they have no natural predators. The most dangerous species to manatees is human beings, because they keep needing to come near the coast, and sometimes they get smacked with boats. The boat propellers do some damage to them. But other than human beings, manatees are not harmed by any creature in the wild. I guess maybe it's the man in me that wants to learn about the most of things and wants to tier list everything. So when I learned about orcas, I'm like, oh wow, I knew these guys were strong, but I didn't realize not only were they the apex predators in the ocean, that there is, that nothing is stronger than an orca, and that the orca it just completely is the king of the sea, and the orcas in their pod will hunt blue whales and all of that kind of stuff. But they're also incredibly intelligent, and they have their own, essentially, cultural transmission of knowledge. They will, a pod of orcas in one side of the world will have different hunting strategies to orcas in the opposite side of the world, because orcas, like human beings, are capable of teaching their young information. And that has always been what about human beings made human beings so advanced, was that you guys could teach your offspring about things via language, and so knowledge could grow over time exponentially. Apparently orcas can do that shit too, which is, a lot of people believe that the orca is as intelligent as a human being, that if orcas, had opposable thumbs, they most likely would have built Atlantis by now. It's really fascinating stuff to learn about, and I can't stop myself. I just keep seeing all of these YouTube videos with information about these different animals, and I just keep reading about it. I love walruses too. Do you know that I've probably talked about this before. Do you know that walrus can whistle? Walruses can whistle, and it's not and it's in a different weird way where they blow air through their teeth or something. They have lips. They pucker their lips and they go. They're so... walruses are a little bit gross. Walruses are kind of gross. But because they make so many flabby, fat, wet noises. They say, a walrus trainer at a zoo might say, speak, and it goes... or whatever it is. They're a little bit gross, but I find them cute. I find them really cute. And they can pop their eyes out. It looks really scary, and I'm worried for them, but they can pop their eyes really far out of their sockets and point... so they can look around and stuff. It's just weird the amount of things these animals can do. Kumaki, thank you so much for the super. I love orcas as well. And look, you got orcas in your profile picture, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Solia, thank you for the super. Super kiss attack. Oh my god. Reikon, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. And Nanase, thank you very much for the super as well. Okaeri nasai. Tadaima. And last of all, Mikeyama Mikeyo, thank you for the 5 gifted as well. Thank you. Now, walruses have a reputation for being very, very grumpy, so-called. But apparently, walruses are the most gregarious, meaning social animals on Earth, even more so than human beings. Walrus. Do you know that there was there have been walrus congregations? Walruses always hang out together. They only ever haul out, which means is hauling out when they go into the ocean or when they go on land. Either one, they never do it alone. They are always together. And there was a group of walruses that was 100,000 walrus, and there's this video of all these walruses just teeming on this one island. 100,000 walruses who've just all gotten together. And, supposedly, even though they are carnivores, they are sort of known as gentle giants in a way, and they tend to be quite docile as long as you don't come between them and their offspring, as is the case with many animals, apart from the manatee, seemingly. Yana, thank you for the super. Okairi, I missed you too. Oh, I'm glad something good happened for you today. Something good happened to me today, too. It was getting to see you again. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Me, babe, thank you so much for the Aku Super. I missed you, too. I miss you so, so very much. I'm very, very happy to see you again. So, so nice to see you. I hope you've been doing so, so well. I love you very much, and thank you for always being here to support me. Yep, if you could believe it. 100,000 walruses. 100,000 walrus. I should do like a nature documentary stream. Wouldn't that be good? If I could get some, because on Adobe Stock, you can get loads of good stuff. I could just get a load of stock footage of animals and then do like a David Attenborough voice. Because my dream for like the end of my life, I want to narrate a nature documentary. That is like, no matter what I achieve in life, I need to be able to do that. Like I would give anything to be the voice of a nature documentary. Let me go on Adobe Stock real quick and check like if they've got videos of walrus doing stuff. Because if they do, like that would be great. And I could be like, I could either do a full David Attenborough voice, or I could do just a nice sounding voice, you know, because my David Attenborough is pretty good. The walrus emerges from the ocean. That was pretty terrible, actually. Emerges from the ocean. And here we can see a congregation in immense number. These are some of the most gregarious animals on all of planet Earth. The walrus's tusk can grow beyond 1 meter in length. Oh, they've got lots of images of them. Oh man, now I'm getting distracted. I'm just going to look at stock images of. They've got loads of footage of it. Oh my god, I could actually do this. I could actually do a little nature documentary and just get a load of stock footage of animals. Oh, that would be so cool. That would be really, really cool. Maybe as well as word of the day, I can do animal of the day. And I could do like teaching you about animals in English. I don't know. I think that might be fun. Ichiko, thank you for the super. I missed you too. Oh, I'm glad your headache is getting a little bit better with my voice. I love you too. Mwah. The walrus is protected by a thick layer of blubber, allowing them to survive in brutally cold temperatures. They have a reputation for being grumpy, but a walrus's temperament is actually very docile and calm. For example, and then go on and do that sort of thing. I think that would be good. Oh, penguins. Oh, penguins. My favorite thing about penguins is the fact that they tend to be very skittish and they're very, very defensive of their young. But penguins tend to usually, it's illegal to pet penguins because if you do, they've got the oil on their feathers, which makes them, which protects them from the cold water. Then if you pet them, you can mess that up. But penguins usually trust humans, which is amazing because they're bipedal, like humans. Penguins are some of the only animals that they will ever see that walk around like they do. Are human beings, and so penguins tend to just think like they must be like us. At least that's my very limited understanding of it. But penguins tend to be very friendly with human beings, which is really, really sweet to see. And you can see these photographers who know it's not legal or safe to pet them. These photographers who are photographing penguins will just sit there or lie there, and the penguins will come up and just kind of look at them, and they might kind of like stand next to the photographer and be like, "What are you looking at, bro? What's going on?" Like It's amazing. The more you read into it, the more you learn about just how intelligent and how, oddly human-like so many animals are. And I've been really enjoying reading about it personally. Hey God, thank you very much for the super. Even do mockumentaries. Oh my God. Well, a mockumentary, that's tough stuff. Like you really have to write so well. If I did a mockumentary, I would need to spend a while working on the script for that. Another thing that Staff was saying is that sometimes a good idea is to do something as a video rather than as a stream, simply because of the nature of how YouTube promotes certain types of content. So if I did something like that, I might try making it into an edited video rather than a stream. I think that might be kind of interesting. And it would also make it less stressful for me because it would be less needing to figure out ridiculous stuff in OBS and more actually I can just make sure it's good and then release it instead of like, oh shit, something went wrong on OBS and now the whole thing is a bit shit. So I might try that. Good evening. The animal of the day is the walrus. The walrus is a big fat guy who has really, really big tusks and likes to go to sleep. The next time you see a walrus, you should go up and start slapping its belly. It may not kill you, but it might also kill you. Have I watched Morgan Freeman's narration about dinosaurs? I've seen a few clips, and it's quite interesting. You know, a documentary about dinosaurs with CGI used to sort of show it. And it's amazing, like, how the fuck do we know that stuff? Kendra, thank you so much for the super. Male anglerfish? Yeah, I did know. Male anglerfish are these parasites that suck onto the bottom of the much larger female anglerfish. They're like little boy toys. Winter, thank you for the super. Tourists would think that moose are sweet and gentle. Oh, yes, no. I mean, moose are ridiculous, and I should know, I am a moose sometimes. The idea of, you know, a car hitting a moose, and then just the moose is fine, but the car gets wrapped around the moose. It's just crazy. Wallflower, thank you for the super. But I missed you a lot. Been indulging in self-exploration. INFP. Maybe that's why I'm empathetic. Been working hard to support my one and only Kamiyoshi. You are so, so kind. I'm grateful to you for working hard, but make sure you're looking after yourself as well, okay? I think I'm still an ENFJ, which I'm quite happy about. But what's funny about the Myers-Briggs is that mine has changed so much over the years. About 10 years ago, I was an INTJ, and then I was an INTP, and then I was an INFP, and then I was an ENFP, and then I was an ENFJ. So I've had like the only letter of mine that's never changed is the N. I've always been intuitive rather than sensing. Otherwise, all my letters have just kind of been a bit loose, which is kind of funny. Miko, thank you so much for the super. Okairi, I missed you too. Work has been really tough. No, I'm glad you've been working hard though. Happy to help you relax. Oh yeah, Jennifer, the movie Tusk or Walruses. Ooh, I've not actually seen it, but I've heard it's pretty grim. I've heard it's quite brutal. Yeah, I'd love to do little documentary style stuff, and we can talk about funny animals. I love watching videos of animals. I just think they're so brilliant. Would I do a tier list of sea animals? Yeah, I would do. I'd do a tier list of we could do like a combat tier list, like which sea animal is the most powerful, and then we could do a tier list of which one is the most friendly, you know, and then we have manatees at the top all the way down to, I'm not really sure what a particularly aggressive sea animal is. Elephant seals are very aggressive. I think elephant seals tend to leave people alone a lot of the time, but during mating season they become some of the most violent animals on Earth. You guys must have seen the documentary footage of elephant seals fighting each other for dominance on the beaches, as a mating ritual. You know, the male elephant seals that just take big bites out of each other. It's leopard seals are dangerous. Yeah, they hunt human beings sometimes. Lays, thank you for the super. Yippee. I've seen manatees in real life while living in Florida. They'll go up near the shore and chill around the alligators. That's so cute. I love them. I love them and capybaras for being, when you have no natural predators, you just kind of chill out even with these dangerous animals. And I find that very, very sweet to see in nature. Mara, thank you so much for the super. Have you seen Project Hail Mary yet? I have. I saw it while I was away. Loved it so much. It's so heartwarming and beautiful and funny. It's hopecore. I agree. I saw it. For me, I would say I really liked the film's heart. I thought that I really enjoyed the effects and the what's it called? The something Meba, the really tense space bit was crazily well done. Really, really well shot. I don't think I would give it the insane response that a lot of people have given it. For me, it's a 7 out of 10. I had a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think what I liked most about it was the way that it spoke about, while indirectly, it spoke about the Great Filter. I don't know if you guys know what the Great Filter is, but scientists, astrophysicists, have talked about something called the Great Filter as a measure of whether or not a civilization or a species can become spacefaring. So, for example, if we're ever to contact aliens, the great filter is something that says, okay, if a species or a civilization does not have this quality or this aspect or trait, they will never progress to become spacefaring. Many people believe that that is language, or that is, I think language is the most likely. But what Project Hail Mary, I think, indirectly tried to say is that the great filter is empathy, is that because when he meets Rocky, that alien is immediately curious and somewhat trusting about him, rather than immediately being defensive and trying to establish dominance. It's that cooperation and empathy are actually what make true transcendent alien civilizations. And I thought that was a very, very sweet message. I don't really agree with a lot of the criticism of calling it like a Reddit Chungus movie, although I will say some of the humor didn't really land for me personally, but the core of the movie was still brilliant. So I did have a great time with it. Say, thank you for the super. Do you have a favorite of the big cats? Tigers are beautiful animals. I kind of love all the big cats. I would say I love cheetahs because cheetahs are skittish and they're very cute when they meow. They go like, ow, ow. And some they go like, meow, meow, meow. I love tigers because they're solitary and again, they tend to be a little bit more reasonable, I guess. No, that's wrong actually. Tigers, they're very solitary and they're difficult to reason with. I was thinking of lions. The fact that lions, you can't really domesticate a lion because like a house cat, you know how house cats will bat at you? A house cat will sometimes swipe at you, but because a house cat's claws are so tiny, it can't really do any major damage. A lion, even if it loved you to death, it might playfully swipe at you, but it's got claws that can instantly kill you. But that said, you can fully domesticate, or not really domesticate, but a lion can be very friendly with you, and a lion can learn to love you because they are pack animals. They spend a lot of time with their pride, and you can, in a sense, if you provide them with food and if you take care of them and groom them, they will view you as a part of their pride, and they will view you as their friend. Tigers, however, are very solitary, and even if a tiger loved you, even if you learned to give it food and it was very gentle with you and you were patting it and it was only ever gentle with you, at any moment a tiger would get hungry and it would just eat you. That because they're solitary animals, they don't really form bonds in the same way that human beings or lions do. But cheetahs as well. That certain animals have emotional support cheetahs. Or is it the other way around? Is it that cheetahs have emotional support dogs? Yes, cheetahs are very anxious animals, and so they are often given emotional support dogs. Dogs are put in a enclosure with cheetahs in order to be their friends, and the cheetahs have their dogs that look after them and help them stay calm. And I just think that's the most wonderful thing. Do you guys know about mobility monkeys? Do you know that capuchin monkeys are sometimes used by quadriplegics as mobility aids? Some people who have lost mobility from the neck down have essentially service monkeys that will go and grab things for them and do all sorts. It's one of the only examples of a primate, because monkeys tend to be very, impossible to keep in an urban environment, but capuchins are small enough and they're easy enough to train that they have been able to support people live a full life. It's like, monkey, can you go get me the remote? And the monkey can run all over the place. It can grab the remote, it can grab you food, it can grab the doorbell, it can open the door, it can do all sorts. So be right back. I'm gonna go cause myself massive injury so that I can have a pet monkey. That's a joke. But I would love a pet monkey, but I understand it's unethical to keep one, so I will just sit here and be sad about that. Tokito, thank you for the super. You should listen to American woodcocks. They go, meep. Aww. I love going meep. It's like the knights who say, nee. Kuroyuri, thank you for the super. I'm glad that you're... Oh, okay. I'll give you lots of pets now. That's the sound of me petting you. Yeah, we could do... Yeah, so I've just, I don't know, done lots of learning, lots of reading recently, and it's been pretty spectacular. I love animals. What can I say? Woodcocks are so funny. Mr. Great Big Woodcock. I think of John Seaman. John Seaman! I miss John Seaman. Nikoko, thank you for the super. I love it when you make animal noises. I want to try and work on my sea lion. Sea lions, I love it when they go like... and they go like... And how do they do it? There's such a stupid noise. I feel like such an idiot trying to do this. It's such a stupid sound. Plur. Plur. I'm obsessed with plur. That's my favorite seal noise. I love it when seals, they kind of sound like... I mean, really, the most iconic sea lion... The most iconic seal noise, I know everybody knows about it, it's a bit basic, but it is the egg video. Egg! And it's because of the context. The context being that that was an adolescent seal, and the way that seals work is that they're weaned from their mothers very, very young. Seals do not spend very long bonding with their mother. The mother will have the baby, and they will look after the baby for a little while, and then eventually... After I think a few weeks or months only, the mother will wean the child, and then it will the pup, and it will leave it alone, and then that seal's on its own. And that seal, I believe, was an adolescent, and that was its first time going into the water on its own, and it didn't want to do it. So he sat there just looking at these people, looking at the hole in the ice, like, I've got to do it. My instincts are telling me I've got to do it. I need food. I need fish. I got to do it. And he's like, I don't want to do it. And he's looking up like, and then he's like, and he's looking at, he's like, and they're just watching the seal like complain to them, like, guys, I don't want to do it. And, like, we're not forcing you to do it. And he's like, he's kind of like, do you have any fish? Can I put it off till tomorrow? Can you feed me instead? Like, and they're just yelling and wailing about it, like he doesn't want to. It's like 5 more minutes. I don't want to get out of bed. You know, it's so cute. It's so cute. And then, of course, you know, you've got a bunch of seal stuff. I just love seals because they're so... The way they move around on land is so stupid. The way that they just bounce. The unofficial term is galumphing. They just bounce on their bellies and go like boing, 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 boing across the land. You know, and it's amazing to see, like, oh yeah, no, these things are incredible swimmers. Some of the best swimmers in the ocean, that they have unbelievable dexterity and speed, but they just look like a sausage. They just look like a big sausage, or, you know, or almost like, you ever have ebi, nigiri, shrimp, sushi, and you know how they have the little shrimp tail? They're like a big fat ebi nigiri that just charges through the water with unbelievable grace. And they get on land and they're like boink, 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 boink. Scarlett, thank you very much for the super. Watching from an ecology research base in Scotland. Loving the animal discussion happening. Yeah, I'm ecology research base. That's actually really interesting. Oh man, I'm sure there's a lot of really interesting wildlife out there in Scotland. A lot of interesting marine life as well. I missed you too. I missed you so much. Kendra, thank you for the super. You remember when I told you my best friend's child found out the little guy's autistic, but he's really smart for a 2 to 3 year old. Wow. Well, that's very impressive. That's very impressive indeed. Thank you for the update. We can see how the seals galumph across the beach in order to find more fish to eat. It's quite an intense competition for this seal who wants to find somewhere to sunbathe upon the shore. The other seals don't seem to like his presence. Perhaps they find him a little stinky, or maybe he's just not very popular. It's going to be a real challenge to find somewhere to take a nap. Diva, thank you. I didn't know anything about the hyrax. Now I can't stop saying awawa. I love the hyrax. They're so skittish and they're so awawa, 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 awawa. I'm obsessed with the awawa. Nade, thank you so much for the super. I missed you too. Happy to hear your playful voice again. I'm good to see you too. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Awawa, awawa, awawa. John Mammal. John Mammal is the best name for an animal that has ever been come up with. Sound like Zhongli. Yes, I do. Wow, what year is it? It's like maybe I should narrate a nature documentary as him. That'd be a good way of getting some Genshin fans watching me again. I could be like, "Hi. Today I'm going to teach you all about seals. The seal is one of the most majestic animals in water, but when it comes up upon the shore, it becomes very clumsy and stupid." And then I could just do that and be like, just put a PNG of him on the screen, and then I could become like Sea Dog doing the fucking Sebastian voice. So, Zestu, thank you for this super. I miss you too. Let me introduce you to the most cutest monkey in the world, the snub-nosed. I know, I love the snub-nosed monkey. Snub-nosed monkey. Aren't they like very docile? Aren't they more friendly as far as monkeys go? Snub-nosed monkey. This is how I've kind of gotten into it, is I would just Google an animal and then type temperament. I will just like animal temperament, and then I'll learn about like what is their personality like. And it's my favorite thing to read the description. It'd be like, they are social, gregarious, gentle, friendly, and I'm like, are they really? Junupa, thank you super. I missed you too. I miss you too. I'm so glad to be back. Behavior and lifestyle. Golden snub-nosed monkeys are primarily tree-dwelling primates and active during the day. They spend most of the entirety of their time in the trees that populate the dense forests. Blah, 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 blah. Golden snub-nosed monkeys, blah, 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 blah. Tell me about how social they are. Tell me about how lovely they are. Tell me about how nice they are. Reproduction and family ecological role, conservation. They have a mild temperament while living in large, complex groups. They are notably vocal, using varied calls to communicate, but are shy and often difficult to track in the wild. While generally peaceful, males can be territorial and aggressive. I mean, this is generally just how it always is. Cerilia, thank you for the super. Recommend the book Project Hail Mary. Read it years ago. I think it goes deeper than the movie. That's what I've heard. There's a lot of science from the book that doesn't really translate into the film. But the film still, you know, obviously films, you need to make a few cuts when you're adapting a book, because books can just include however much they like. And I think chat has paused. I think chat has frozen. So I'm just sort of waiting for chat to come back. Oh, there it is. Are you territorial and aggressive? Yeah, man. I'm the most territorial and aggressive there is. Anybody comes close to me, I'm like, bang. I'm very territorial. Snub-nosed monkeys. Friendly to humans. They're shy. They ignore tourists and maintain a safe distance. I mean, this is generally, with all wild animals, that's the way you should approach it. Is that a lot of, very many animals, the way they will view human beings is that they will just not really understand you. They'll be like, what on earth is that? I don't see that in the jungle very often. And they'll most likely make a decision to leave you alone because they don't know what you're capable of. And so they're going to keep themselves alive by not running over and smacking you with anything. But that said, if you come closer and if you agitate them, they may or may not choose to fight back. So most of the time, if you tolerate, you know, if an animal can happily tolerate you, and if you're not fucking with them, a lot of the time they will be perfectly happy to let you just sort of move through the area calmly. There are many animals that do not do this, but a lot of them tend to just be quite indifferent towards human beings. If they're hungry, that's different. You know, if they're a carnivore and they're hungry, that's quite different. But I mean, a big one that always surprises me is the hippopotamus. the fact that the hippopotamus is as aggressive as it is, it's not just so powerful with those jaws that it can use to completely annihilate anything. It's the fact that if you even go near to a hippo, it'll be like, fuck you, man, get out of my swamp, I'm gonna eat you alive. Mide, thank you so much for the super. So glad to see you, my peace. Aw, I missed you too. And Nade, thank you for the super. Taking a lesson from animals. Well, unfortunately, you guys have just caught me at a time. You caught me at a very animal time in my life, and I'm just going to tell you about all of my favorites now. I'm going to tell you about all my favorite animals. And right now, that's marine life. You know, I'm really interested in sea animals. They've just been like, I've been finding out so much about them, and I'm addicted to the process of just learning about animals. It's so cute. It's so cool. We need to do a tier list. We need to do a tier list about the friendliest animals. That's what I want to do. Or about, you know, tier list of my favorite sea animals. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. Otters are so cute. Oh my god, otters are so cute. You guys see I told you about the video of the guy who, or did I tell you about the video? There was one guy I saw a YouTube short of who had a pet otter, and he had gone so far in life to make sure that otter was well taken care of. Otters are a lot of the time illegal to keep as pets, but he had an entire saltwater, whatever, well, hang on, what water, which water type do otters like? Clean, unpolluted, permanent water bodies. It's fresh water. You have, so there are sea otters that are salt water, and then river otters that are whatever, freshwater. I'm pretty sure this guy had a massive, either a saltwater, I think it was a sea otter, and he had a saltwater pool, or if it was a river otter, it is a freshwater pool. You know, so much of a massive personal investment to make sure that he could properly take care of that animal. And you can tell, it's so cute when he's trying to teach, the otter is very young and he's trying to teach it how to swim. And you can tell how much that animal loves him and how well he's taking care of it, because he is swimming around with it and then he lets it go and swims away and is like, come on. And it's going, and it's like kind of making these little squeaks, and it's desperately paddling back towards him like, where are you going? No, come back. Like, that's his dad. He is that otter's father, and the otter is, and like, he must be taking such good care of it. And it makes me so happy to see that sort of thing is possible with enough consideration for the animal's well-being. Laura, thank you so much for the super. Sounds so happy telling us. Oh my god, the octopus. The Dumbo octopus is the cutest little thing. It's the most adorable thing. It's ridiculous that the Dumbo octopus exists. Like, the Dumbo octopus is the cutest thing in the world. How do they look like that? How are they just these little blobs with two cute little button eyes? They're so sweet looking. I don't understand how they evolved. But you know what it is? It's the fact that cute animals are a lot harder for predators to eat. Like, I think that's one of the most beautiful things, is the fact that the reason why baby animals are cute is evolved. They evolved to be cute because predators are less likely, they're not impossible, and some predators are fucked up and they will eat babies regardless. But a lot of predators will think twice about, they'll hesitate before eating a cute baby animal because they look cute and they're suddenly like, oh, I don't want to eat that one. It's kind of a universal thing that big heads and big eyes look cute, and we take pity on things like that, and we want to look after them. It's like the fact that certain dog breeds, like from the moment they're born, they just know that's a baby. I'm going to be very, very gentle with it. The fact that, dogs are always running around and knocking shit over, but new parents who have particularly a golden retriever, parents who've just had a baby, they can trust, for the most part, they can trust their dog around their baby because the dog already knows. It already knows, and it figures out like, yep, that is a baby. I have to be very, very gentle with that. It's not always the case, and obviously, yeah, the whole thing about baby turtles getting eaten alive by seagulls and crabs and all kinds of stuff, I mean, that's different, right? I mean, if I was a predator, I would certainly only be going for the adult turtles, and those poor baby turtles that get born and immediately have to run across the fucking no man's land, the trenches, in order to get to the ocean before they get eaten alive by predators. It's not always the case, but in many cases, you know, animals have evolved to look cute when they're young because they are defenseless. Yeah, I've watched videos with like people who have dogs and the dogs are like hanging out with people's children. It's so cute. I just I love there was one with the dogs being really silly and then the baby started, because you know toddlers and babies, they cry for no fucking reason. The dog is like being silly and then the baby starts crying and the dog immediately stops. It's like, what's going on? It's like, what's wrong? Hey, you gotta talk to me. What's going on? And the dog just kind of sits down and it's like, hey, buddy, it's all right. You know, the dog immediately is like comforting him. It's so cute. It's so unbelievably cute. Man. If I was to do, at some point, I don't know when, I want to do a swimming with seals experience. I've not gone for a proper swim in a long time. I can swim quite well. But I've not swam for a while, but I would love to swim with seals. I think that would be a really, really wonderful thing. I don't know. I think the opportunity to see animals like that close up would be fantastic. You know, and you give them space. You don't chase after the seals, but you know they're curious and you know intelligent animals. And a lot of the time, from what I've heard, while you're swimming in the ocean with those seals, they'll come up and check you out, and they might just swim right next to you. And man, I would really like to do that. I love don't know. I love watching videos of sea lions and shit like that, and just seeing all of these animals do their stuff. It's so great. How have we already been streaming for an hour? All I've done is just yap about marine animals. Otter training. Oh, it's so cute. Otter training. I've just been obsessed with animals recently. I don't even know what else to talk about. I just love learning about these interesting species. Tokito, have you seen the video of the impatient sea lion screams for snack? I have. He goes, and they're like, they're like, all right, who could scream the loudest? Who wants the food? And he goes, ah, and they're like, all right, you're getting the fish. I love the one where they show the sea lion a really big fish and it goes, and then they swap it for a small fish and it goes, it's like, no, I don't want that one. I want the big one. It goes like, and nods like, I love the sea lions nodding and like bobbing their heads really fast. It's the cutest thing. It is just the cutest thing ever. The octopus is incredible as well. I mean, octopi, you know, perfectly capable of being, of forming attachments. And supposedly they are some of the smartest animals in the world. Exceptionally intelligent. 500 million neurons with sort of similar brain capacity to a dog's. 2/3 located in their arms. The fact, you know that, I think it's like a squid. It's a squid. You know, squids have the beak. A squid, if the beak can fit through something, it can shuffle the rest of its body around. If a squid can fit its beak through a hole, its whole body can go through. You know. Taroshi, thank you for the super. Lily, thank you for the super. Sea otters are really adorable. They hold hands while sleeping to prevent drifting apart. Oh, I didn't know that. They're so cute. They're so cute. Oh, they're so brilliant, aren't they? Oh. Oh my god. I'm obsessed. I'm a man obsessed. Nade, thank you for the super. I kind of wish I could turn into a cute little baby animal to be doted on, but I'd like that as well. I just want a bit of affection from you. Stay. That's okay. You can have all the affection you like. I'm back now. I'm here to give you big hugs and cuddles and make sure that you're feeling cozy. What we can do, yeah. Whatever animal you choose to be. Really, it would be great. If you were to be an animal, you should be some crazy exotic animal that I wouldn't get a chance to pet otherwise. You know? Like, what's a really dangerous animal that I would love to pet? Oh, well, a bear. You know? Like a grizzly bear. if one of you guys was a grizzly bear, that would be great, because I can trust you not to maul me to death. And then I can finally know what it's like to pet a bear without being worried about it about it destroying me, because bears frustrate me. Bears frustrate me so much because bears are so cute. Bears are just big, but bears are big and huge, and they look like these, they're teddy bears. The teddy bear is based on the bear, obviously. Why do they look so cute? And yet they are the most aggressive, territorial, like death machine animal you've ever seen. Like, you guys ever seen The Revenant? Have you ever seen The Revenant? Have you, The Revenant, when that came out in 2015, I think? The scene of Leonardo DiCaprio getting mauled by a bear is so, the effects in that scene are so unbelievably realistic. That scene, oh my fucking god. I think it's the most I've, physically winced at a violent scene in my life. Lays, thank you for the super. Have you heard the rock ptarmigan sound? It sounds like awebo, awebo. I think I have. Awebo, awebo. I know they got those little ears, and they're really big and fluffy, and bear cubs are so cute as well. And they're just these big guys, and they scratch their backs on trees, and they nap, and they go for salmon and stuff. But they're horrible. They're just horrible. I mean, they really fucking kill you hard, dead as hell. What was I talking about right before then? Oh, is this too big for super? Don't, no. I just, thank you for the super. No. Winnie the Pooh is a female Canadian bear? I don't know if Winnie the Pooh is female. Winnie the Pooh is a boy. Voiced by Jim Cummings, I believe. Winnie the Pooh is a what? Winnie the Pooh? Oh, inspired by a real life named Winnie, short for Winnipeg. Oh. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's so cute. I didn't know that. Toseka Nai, thank you for the support. I watched Octonauts with your nephew. Notice the cartoon takes marine biology very seriously. Oh, that's brilliant. It's brilliant that they're learning so much. Apu, thank you for super. I'm Akuma. That's right. God, there's so much. I'm just looking at Adobe stock. There is so much stock footage of animals. I'm so excited to do little nature documentaries. That would be so great. I could try and put together a fake narrative, try and put together some stupid narrative about the bears. I piece together some stock footage and be like, yes, and here we can see the bear is trying to munch on some leaves, but unfortunately his mate got really mad and attacked him again, and then he's done this and done that. I think that'd be so fun. Do you know there used to be bears in the UK, but they were hunted to extinction in the UK. It used to be bears, but back in sort of I'm not sure how long ago it was. When were bears extinct in the UK? Around 500 to 1000 AD. So during the medieval period, they were hunted to extinction, which is really interesting. And me personally, it is a shame for any genus of animal to go extinct. I'm personally, in a very selfish way, I'm quite glad that I don't have to worry about bears in the UK. UK wildlife generally is quite harmless, which is nice because in the UK you can kind of just go camping a lot of the time and not have to worry too much. There are snakes in the UK, but they're very rare and they're not very harmful. You've got adders and grass snakes, but they don't really do anything. They just kind of do whatever. And they don't really attack people very often. And their venom's not very, very bad. Other than that, you've got deer. They leave you alone. You've got badgers who can be a bit aggressive, but they're small. And there was a big thing about culling badgers a while ago because they were becoming a big problem for produce and farmers. So yeah, UK, no real big predators in the UK. Not really, anyway. It's just lots of rats. Conversation with a black bear. I've seen a few things like that happening where black bears are very, if it's black, fight back is what they say. It's, with the bears, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. And if it's white, good night, because the polar bear will kill you. But the idea that black bears, they're a little bit smaller and sometimes they've eaten their fill and they're not going to harm a person. So people just kind of have a chill little moment with a black bear. But eventually you got to remember, like, that thing is gonna fight you. Oh yeah, the guy on the who's rock climbing, and the bear comes at him and he's like, and then the bear is like, whoa, okay, chill out, okay, slow down. Foxes. Yeah, foxes, there's plenty of foxes in the UK, but foxes are not dangerous to human beings. I mean, foxes, solitary, they are not big enough to... They might, if you attack a fox, if you go up to it, it might fight back to protect itself. But a fox, in all my years living in the UK, I have never had a close encounter with a fox. I've only ever seen them late at night on the side of the road, poking out of a bush and then going back into the bush. They're very skittish. You're not going to run into any problems with foxes, really, no matter where you go. One of your uncles found a stray black bear cub thinking it was a puppy and raised it till it was an adult and then released it raised it till it was an adult? Oh my god. Wait. Is that even... Wait. Can bears bond with humans if raised from birth? Wow. It's true. They can. It doesn't make them domesticated and they're still wild and they have unpredictable instincts, but that is insane. It's such a cute idea. The idea of a man raising a bear, thinking it's a dog at first, and then being confronted with the fact that it's very obviously a bear, and going, there were signs at times, but, I just thought he was weird. You Kimmy, thank you for the super. Couldn't sleep, so I came back. Missed you so much. Oh, I love you too. Yeah, I hope you can sleep well listening to me rant about animals all day. Very lively, thank you for the super. Not really a fan of teddy bears, but I love realistic bear plushies. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good. They look so cool. I do like realistic plushies. And all the advice online is do not do that, but I mean, it's kind of a cute idea. Also, I finished building my little Lego capybara. Had a lot of fun doing that. That was a nice thing. It took a while. It was definitely a pretty long build because all the bricks on it was so small, but I now have a little Lego capybara that I built. That was pretty cool. What type of hugger are you? I am a very aggressive, squeeze hard, pick you up type hugger. I very much am like, both arms under your arms, grab on, squeeze as hard as possible, pick you up, shake you around. Like, I'm a bear hugger. I'm very much a bear hugger. I love to do big hugs. I've been told I give good hugs. And that's not me just trying to... It's not me just trying to fancy you. I have literally been told that I give very, very good hugs. So yeah, that's another brilliant green flag about me. Haha. I love to just... It's the hardest thing. I want to just squeeze, as hard as possible. It makes me... But then I'm like, no. Delicate. I can't. Oh, You have so much affection. You just want to... That's the thing. That's the thing, right? You guys know me. As a demon, I need to eat people's souls. The reality is, even though I don't want that for you, because I love you so much that it makes me want to eat you. Makes me want to put you in my mouth and chew. You know, have you ever seen a video of a manatee eating, the way they just kind of... like all the plants on the ocean floor? If you guys were plants on the ocean floor, I would go along like... and just slurp you all up. And I'd use my big teeth to just grind you into dust. Angelia, thank you for the Akuma. Love all little animals. Allergic to lots of them. No, allergic to cats and horses. Oh, I love gorillas and proboscis monkeys. They're so cute. Once I spent a few months with a golden retriever and he became my best friend. I miss him so much. Golden retrievers are so cute. And I love... proboscis monkeys are so cute in a very ugly way, you know? Proboscis monkeys are so ugly in a way that makes them very cute. You know, it's like, oh... It's like, oh, what happened to you? You know, it makes me want to look after them and be like, I'm sorry for what happened to your nose, man. I'm sorry for what happened to your nose. But yeah, they're all so cute. I mean, proboscis monkeys are really disgusting, aren't they? They just look like these really, really grim old men with these giant noses. But God, if that doesn't make me want to give them a little pat on the head, like, I'm sorry, man. They're so cute. But thank you for that, Aku Super. Love you too. I mean, I like, it's one of the reasons why I like a lot of animals, you know. I mean, spiders. I had a big thing about spiders for a while. Like, even tarantulas I find quite sweet. Because, like, if you look, God, I don't have arachnophobia, but I'm spiders are scary. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, they're beautiful animals, but God, when I look at a tarantula's face, I'm like, ooh, like, it really starts fucking with me. But then at the same time, they're so scary that I can't help but be fascinated by them and find them like... Then I see a picture of a tarantula and I'm like, actually, they are a little bit cute, aren't they? There is something about them that's kind of sweet. There's like a few pictures of spiders where I'm like, oh my... Like, some of them are really freaky. The wolf spider. That one... The wolf spider gives me the biggest heebie-jeebies. I don't know why the wolf spider... Because I don't know how dangerous the wolf spider is, but the wolf spider, God, its face is really scary to me. I don't know. It's the having tiny eyes and then the two really big eyes. Like, I just find them really creepy. But I also know that I would be fascinated to see one, and I would love to sort of learn more about them. And obviously, we know the best ones are jumping spiders. Jumping spiders are the cutest. Wolf spiders are friends. Okay, that's good. I mean, as far as I'm aware, a lot of spiders don't go out of their way to harm human beings. It's always just self-defense. I mean, God, the jumping spider is so unbelievably cute. How did that happen? How did a spider evolve to be this cute? Oh my God. I mean, a jumping spider is one of those pets that I know I would never really be able to fully take care of because it has such... I mean, it's not like they're terribly difficult to take care of, but like I'd be so worried about accidentally squishing it when I inevitably want to take it out and let it walk around a little bit. I would be too nervous to have a jumping spider, but man, I really want to be able to look after an animal like this. I mean, they're so sweet looking. Lovegate, thank you for the super. My TL, Gordon Belfort has developed a crush on you. I'm scared but intrigued. Your me seems closer to... Oh, Tomodachi Life. Yeah. Me seems closer to Voxan. Ooh. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got this new bad bitch girlfriend. Her name's Voxan. I'm just gonna say, I'm here to tell you right now, I've never known pleasure like this. I know that my stupid goblin ass is gonna find a way to fuck this up, and I'm gonna think about this lady for the rest of my goddamn life. Lace, thank you for the super. Sit here and hear you yap about animals all day. You're utterly adorable with your animal face. Oh, you're so nice to me. I love you too. I love you too. Play Tomodachi Life. I think we will play Tomodachi Life when it comes out. I would love to make an island with other Niji members on it, and maybe some other Vox Akuma characters. We could have an island with Niji members, and then we could also have an island with my characters. Like, we could have Vitruvius, and we could have Solomon Serpico on the island, and all of that kind of stuff, which would be kind of fun. And then maybe, like, some Akumaverse characters as well. Just bring all of that back. Oh yeah, I forgot Gordon was gay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Voxan changed his mind. I don't know. Maybe after all that time he thought he was gay, but Voxan just worked her magic, and he was like, you know what? I've never felt attracted to a woman before in my life, but this lady, she's kind of doing it for me. Sexuality is fluid. There you go. Blech. A funnel web spider? Now those are scary. I don't like those. They're very venomous, aren't they? They're very, very venomous. Ugh, I don't like them. It's the fact that, like, tarantulas and stuff have so many pictures of them that are really, really close up. Not so much the funnel web spider. The funnel web spider, you've got most of the pictures are from far away because nobody wants to get close to this motherfucker. The funnel web spider is scary as fuck and it can kill you. No thank you. Not a big fan of those. Very grateful for the fact that the UK has no spiders like those, because I would be very scared of that. Wallflower, thank you for the super. Did any more writing? My writing's been slow for the time being, but I've been reading visual novels, especially manhwa. The one I've been reading is called For Daphne. Oh, that sounds really, really lovely. Yeah, I've been doing a fair bit of writing recently. But even if you're writing slow, getting inspired by, you know, other works of art is an important part of the process. Mufang, if I kept a wolf spider as a pet, would you kick me out of the castle? No, I would not. I would never kick you out. You are welcome to have the wolf spider. It can be your friend. I would just have to get used to it. May Lively. Recently I watched videos about crows. Oh, they're very smart. Yeah, crows are very, very smart. What was the video of the crow going, fuck you? Like the people, they just sat there like, you know, this crow is hopping around on in their back garden and they're just sort of chatting shit about it. And the crow just looks up and goes, fuck you. I want to see that crow. Hold on. Crow says, fuck you. Alright, where's the timestamp?
Try to pet him.
No, that one got the big ass beak on him. Fuck you!
Fuck you. They can remember faces. Yeah, they can. I love thinking about that kind of stuff. Oh, now I'm seeing YouTube shorts, getting recommended YouTube shorts of sea lions again. No, I'm gonna get distracted again. No, I'm gonna start looking at these funny animals. What purpose does a sea lion need to be making all of those noises? He sounds like he's doing a bad impression of somebody. Like he's just trying to make fun of his buddy who laughs like that. Damien, thank you. It's very unconventional. People make fun of me for it. I'm terrified of chinchillas. Chinchillas? Well, I am not going to make fun of you. I am not going to make fun of you because people can be scared of anything. People can be scared of anything. I know of one guy, there was a video, was it YMS did the video, or who was it? Maybe it was I Hate Everything. Some film critic YouTuber made a series talking about the weird things people were scared of, and I think Ralph the Movie Maker said his one fear was of Barney the dinosaur, and that everything else, he had watched actual horror movies as a child and they didn't scare him, but he was still, to that day, horrified by Barney the purple dinosaur. So I am not judging you. But that said, I cannot get over the experience of I knew what a chinchilla was, but I hadn't seen one for some time. The act of seeing I'm scared of chinchillas, they're terrifying, and then Googling it and seeing the tiniest, blobbiest mouse I've ever seen, like that is the least threatening animal I think I could possibly have imagined. But I'm not judging you. If that's what you're scared of, that's what you're scared of. I get scared of weird little things too. Everybody's got their thing, you know? But that is funny. Go on, that is really funny. Do they just have really... you can keep them as pets. Chinchillas are clean, quiet, attractive rodents that don't smell. Why do they call them attractive? That's weird. But a lot of people, you know, it used to be a thing. People were scared of mice, I guess. Misty, thank you for the super. Membership watch. Watching nature documentaries together would be nice. That would be really good. Yukimi, thank you for the Aku super. Your birthday is on April 14th. I'd love a little birthday message from you with a hug and a kiss as a special set. Oh, Yukimi, I hope on the 14th, I hope you have a really, really wonderful birthday. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful, wonderful kindred and for always looking after me and being here to have fun. You've made this community so wonderful for me and for everybody else, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Big hugs for you, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Angelia, do you like snails? You kept 53 snails! 53 goddamn snails! That's a lot of snails. That is a lot of snails. That is a lot of snails. I think snails are cool. I know a lot of people have pet snails. There's like the giant African snail, I think, that some people keep as a pet. Pet snails. What is the best type of snail to have as a pet? Best snail for pet. Yeah, giant African land snails. Garden snails. Aww. Yeah, I think snails are kind of cute. They're like aww. They are cute. They are cute. They're kind of gross and sticky and blobby, but they're cute in a weird way. Oh. I mean, they're so disgusting, but look at their little eyes. Look at the stalks on them. They're like... Look at their little eyes. Oh, you know what? You know what? It reminded me of that old meme. Do you remember the snail eating... Remember the snail eating the apple? And it's like, oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, baby, I was born to let you know. Snails are cute. I mean, they're disgusting, but they are cute. You guys got to remember, when I say something is disgusting and ugly, that doesn't mean it's not cute. You know? Like a snail is sticky and it's made of weird, gross, like fleshy, blobby goo. And yet, it's got these little things that go like beep, 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 beep. It is cute and it's disgusting at the same time. Say, have you checked out Neil the Seal? I do know about Neil the Seal. Isn't Neil the Seal an elephant seal that just, you know, holes out on land and just chills out by the side of the road in Australia? It's very, very funny. Howell, thank you for the super. My grandparents have a few barns at their house, and I'm scared of the one they keep in the hay because there's snakes in there. I stopped helping. I thought having move hay bales, the snakes freak me out so bad. I mean, snakes, yeah. Snakes, I don't like snakes because snakes are so fast. Like, it's not that they're not cute. I mean, certain snakes are very cute. But when snakes bite their prey, the way they just BAM! Like, they're so quick. Like, it kind of does freak me out a little bit. You know, a lot of snakes are really cute. Like the corn snake is really cute and the grass snake is really cute. And even the really big scary ones are very beautiful, and they've got wonderful like scales, and there's a lot about them that makes them very, very pretty. But oh my god, like I'm going to be honest, the way they just lunge and devour shit, it's like it is very unsettling. It is very unsettling to me. I can't really handle it, to be honest. Like they're so quick with it. And I will never in my life get over that story. Any chance of me someday like forming an interest in snakes and maybe getting a pet snake? There was a woman who had a pet boa constrictor, or some kind of snake that was non-venomous, but it was very, very, very large. And she would go to bed with this snake. It was her pet and she loved it. And the snake had formed a strong attachment to her. And then she goes to the doctor and she says, "Doctor, my snake, he's not eating. We've checked everything. He's not eaten for days. I've given him all of his favorite food and he seems sick, like he's not doing well, but he's refusing to eat." And the vet just sits her down and says, "Ma'am, I'm really sorry to tell you this." It's like, "Oh yeah, but he's been very affectionate and very cuddly at night. I'm sorry to tell you this. Your pet is sizing you up and is preparing to eat you." Can you imagine? Can you imagine being so attached to this animal and then hearing, yeah, this thing, if you had waited another day, you would have been its dinner. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was preparing, and one more day and it would have just, no, thank you. I'm good. No giant snake pet for me. Thank you. I'm good. I'll stick with hamsters. Putting Willy in a hamster wheel. Why was she sleeping with it? I mean, a lot of people have their pets in bed, I think a lot of people view that as just a choice thing. It's like people will be like, if the dog jumps in bed, I'll be like, yeah, the dog is like, hey, what's going on? Snowtaku, thank you for the super. All this animal talk reminded me of my favorite animals: guinea pigs and potato fairies. Wow. Oh, desert rain frogs. No, I have. I do know what those are. I had never heard them called a fairy potato before, but that is very, very cute. That is very, very cute. No, I love desert rain frogs. I mean, ever since that one video, where the narrator sounds like David Tennant. I'm not sure if it is David Tennant, where he's like, "But this is the sonorous war cry of a very angry frog. This is a desert rain frog. He looks like a dog toy." And you're going, "Ew, ew, 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 ew." Very cute, very cute. And that's the thing. Imagine being so tiny and so angry. Must be horrible. Must be horrible. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. The desert rain frog being so angry and doing its war cry, but it's just so cute all the time, and it has no way of not being so cute, and there's just nothing we can do. It will always view it as this adorable, grumpy little thing that goes, the Enna frog. Oh yeah, I remember there was like an edit of the desert rain frog going, "Fucking bitch." That is fair, actually. It does kind of remind me of Enna. Trap, thank you for the super. I used to have a roommate that let their pet cockroach fly around the living room. Oh my god. Now, I know a lot of people have pet cockroaches, and a lot of you guys, I remember, were very disgusted by cockroaches during the Arctic Egg stream. I don't really find cockroaches that horrible because we don't really have them in the UK, but quite a few people have pet cockroaches. I believe there's a certain... which cockroach is the best pet? It's like a giant cockroach, or like the hissing cockroach. That's it. Is apparently very docile and good to keep as a pet. But yeah, letting it fly around. I mean, that's the thing that maybe I don't really think about too much with cockroaches. The fact that I forget that they fly and they're pretty big and they just fly around like. No, I'd be pretty mad about that. I wouldn't be happy if I had a roommate who was letting their cockroach fly around. Sunny, thank you for the super. 1 minute ago, a golden retriever that is half my size walked straight at me on the street. Oh, I think your stream has done something in the air. Oh, I miss you and many aggressive hugs. Many, many big hugs for you. You're getting a big. Oh, you got you got walked at by a by a golden retriever. I mean, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I hope you feel okay. I mean, any dog with a bad owner might have some bad behavior, but you know, would you still love us if we turned into a cockroach? Of course I would. I would get you a lovely little enclosure. I would feed you all kinds of little mealworms and little things that cockroaches like to eat. I would look after you. Even if you're a lot less cute than a worm, you're still my kindred. Worm. I'm just going to Google a worm. Wow. I mean, worms, again, this is what I'm saying. Worms are disgusting, but they're weirdly cute. I mean, how the fuck does any of that make sense? They have no head. They have no eyes. It doesn't even look like they have a mouth, really. They are just kind of a little piece of pink bleh. And they just sit around and go like... Blah, 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 blah. Yukimi, thank you for the super. I was really feeling down, so getting an early birthday message made me feel so happy. Oh, I'm really glad I could have made you feel better. I just aim to be your cute dog's toy in my next life. Aw, you could cut out the middleman. You could cut out the middleman. You don't have to be a dog toy. You could just be the dog. Lace, thank you for the super. Growing up, my uncle went through a phase where he had lots of pets. He had house spiders, hamsters, rabbits, pigeons, and even an iguana. I feel like at some point in my life, I will go through that phase. I have no choice. There will become a point where maybe I'll have less to do during my day, and I think that I'm just going to start adopting pets to the point where I have, like, thousands of them, and then it's going to become a problem. Hello, Michaela. Rolls cart in and passes out water and snacks. Oh, boy. Good timing. I was starting to get, my throat was starting to get dry. Oh. Angelia, thank you for the soup. I'm thinking of keeping a fire snail. Whoa, fire snail. I hope that it doesn't... Fire snail makes me think it, like, is... Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow, that's an incredible animal. One of the rarest snails in the world. Only found within 100 kilometers of Malaysia. Wow, look at that. That is ridiculous. Look at that thing. Whoa. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, if you could get a fire snail, oh my god. That's so cool. Escargot. Exactly. If I was a snail, I would be a fire snail. That's true. Apparently, its Latin name is Platyma tweediae. That's a cute little name, Platyma. It looks like its name is Fatima in a red way. Tweet, blah. What do I think of raccoons? I've not really run into any raccoons. We don't have raccoons in the UK, which I know to a lot of you guys in America might be crazy to think about, because I'm sure in America you run across raccoons all the time, but I don't believe there are any in the UK, so I've never really come across them before. But they're pretty cute. They're pretty cute. I've heard stories about raccoons forming weird, tenuous bonds with human beings. UK got nothing going on. Well, you know, we got some things. We do have some islands close to Wales, an island where there are puffins. Puffins are cute. I love puffins. That story about puffins being social animals and copying the little puffin thing and standing on one leg. Oh, it's so cute. Puffin. What was the story about? Yeah. Yeah. The puffins are extremely social when researchers used one-legged decoys, so the puffins are just cheaply made, And they built a puffin to draw the real puffins to the island, but the cheap ones, they just had like one metal rod that they stood on, but the puffins look at that and they think they're standing on one leg, so the puffin just sits next to it and stands on one leg, emulating it, and it's just the sweetest thing. Hedgehogs, oh my god, hedgehogs are the cutest thing in the world. Hedgehogs, oh my god. Oh my god, just look, the way when they curl up. Just look at just look at this little bastard. Oh my god, oh my god. Hedgehogs are the sweetest thing. Have you seen a baby hedgehog? Baby hedgehogs look like a chicken strip. Baby hedgehogs look like a piece of raw chicken. Like a newborn hedgehog literally looks like a blob. Like a pink blob. It is ridiculous. They don't look like they should be alive. They look like they came out, they need a little bit longer in the oven. They're so unbelievably small. Oh, baby hedgehogs. Oh my goodness, they're so unbelievably tiny. Oh my goodness, it just activates something in me. I need to just look after them or I'm gonna die. Oh, just wrapped up in their little selves. They could just put their body in a ball and be like, I'm going to bed. Good night. Oh. Oh yeah, baby kangaroos. Oh my god, yeah. Baby Joey. They're so tiny when they're first born. Newborn kangaroo. God, they're literally like a little blob. Yeah, like a bean. And they just sit, and that's why they have the pouch, because they need more time to mature, but they're just a little bean. Sits in there. Hedgehogs are not cute. We are at war. Is that the real soldier TF2?
No. Hedgehogs are not cute. We are at war. Sun Tzu said that. And I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it. And then he perfected it so that no living man could best him in the Ring of Honor.
And then he does that big scream that I'm not going to do because I need to protect my voice. Very lively. Oh, sugar gliders, you're right. Sugar glide. Oh my god. Oh my god, these blobby little boys. I call a lot of animals blobby, don't I? I was I just typed sugar gliders because I was thinking about blobs. I was thinking about blobby, sugar gliders. Oh, look at it. They're so, some of these animals, like their eyes are so big and they've got such, like, they look like a content aware scale YouTube poop animal. And then they pull the little thingy out. There are some animals where I have to ask myself why. Like, they're so cute, but like, what? Oh, the way it's curled around your thumb though. Oh my god, it's so tiny. It's so, oh, the way it's wrapped around, the whole body wrapped around the thumb. Oh my god.
I have done nothing but teleport sugar gliders for 3 days.
Oh my god. Blobfish. Now, blobfish, I have of course seen the blobfish. This poor thing. This poor thing that used to be like an internet sort of, not a copy pasta, but it's like the image of the blobfish went around on like the early internet and a lot of people thought it was fake. But yeah, it really does just look the melted head of a weird old man. Yeah, I feel like the blobfish is just absolutely revolting and hideous. Like, I will take no arguments of people telling me the blobfish is cute. The blobfish is the most revolting animal I've ever seen. They got him at a bad angle. I mean, he doesn't look like that when he's swimming around, but even then when he's swimming around, he doesn't look great. Akuma, thank you for the super. You are the milord of exciting animal kingdom. That's me. I think dragonflies are like fairies. That's true. Dragonflies are very beautiful. Jaboas! I love jaboas, Damien. They're so cute. A jaboa. That's a great video. There's a great video. I was watching, I love watching unusual memes, and a while ago I remember watching it, and there was a video of a jaboa just leaping backwards. And to be honest, I saw it with the two hind legs and and only the tiny little front arms. I was like, there's no way that's a real animal. There's no way that exists. But I was like, no, it does. The jaboa just has these long back legs, and it's just a ridiculous looking mouse that came out wrong. They're so stupid. I love them. I love them very much. Everything is cute to you. I'm afraid so. I'm afraid I'm just very affectionate. I'm afraid I just love this planet and all of its creations. Quokka. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about the quokka, but I can't really remember what it looks like. It's like it's another, to me a quokka. Yeah, to me a quokka, that's another, oh, look at how, why are they so smiley? Why are they so happy? To me, the quokka, that's another animal like the hyrax that's just John Mammal. Like, this just looks like default mammal to me. This is like, the quokka is a hyrax if the hyrax was really happy all the time. Like, the hyrax is the very grumpy, ugly stepsister to the quokka. Wolfla, thoughts on baby pigs? Don't even get me started, tiddly pum. Piglets, oh my god. Quokka, okay. I gotta search the quokka temperament. Tell me about it. Tell me about quokkas. Known as the world's happiest animals. Due to their curious, docile, friendly demeanor, often appearing to smile. They're generally fearless of humans, frequently approaching people, particularly on Rottnest Island, though they remain wild animals, not pets. They are nocturnal, social in mobs, and herbivorous. Well, there you go. The world's happiest animal. Oh. Why do they smile like that? They're like, hello. What's going on? I love owls. Oh, owls are fascinating, yeah. Owls are a fascinating animal. Everybody's just hitting me with their favorite animal. They want me to validate their opinion about their favorite animal. Guys, all your favorite animals are cute. Platypus. Oh my god. Platypus are weird. Don't platypus have like no genetic relatives? I thought it's like platypus are platypi are very, very weird. Platypuses, whatever, platypus. They have venom and there's a lot of weird traits to them, you know? Weird platypus facts. I remember hearing about this and they're so weird. Yeah, they lay, so they're mammals that lay eggs. They use electroreception to hunt, and so like kind of echolocation to hunt. Their ankles have venom. They glow under ultraviolet light, and they have no nipples, and they have no teeth, so they have to eat gravel to grind up their food. They have to eat gravel, ladies and gentlemen. What the fuck is going on with platypuses? Platypus. Apparently, as of literally a couple of weeks ago, scientists discover yet another extraordinary thing about the platypus. It is venomous, can sense electricity, and glows. Now they've discovered something else. We know the platypus is no hoax. Its list of peculiarities continues to grow. Females produce milk but have no nipples. That's very bizarre. Produce milk but with no nipples. What's the milk even for? I guess maybe it's for them. Just a little snack. For more than 50 years, scientists thought that hollow melanosomes only occurred in birds and that mammal melanosomes were always solid. Then Jessica Lee Dobson from Ghent University and colleagues used high-resolution microscopy to peer at the melanosomes inside platypus hairs and found that they broke the rules. Melanosomes are the tiny pigment-making factories found inside certain animal cells. Hold on. These petite structures, which are about 1/1000 of a millimeter long, tend to be spherical or rod-shaped and can be solid or hollow. And so, right, so mammals have all had solid ones and birds have hollow ones, and they're like, no, platypus have decided to have hollow ones as well. So that platypus just break all the fucking rules. That is hilarious. Thunder Dream, thank you very much for the gifted. Thank you so much for giving me the gifted and listening to me talk about animals today. I've been having a wonderful time. They're like if you asked a 5-year-old to make up an animal. That's true. That's true. That is what it's like. That's exactly what it's like. They sweat it out. They sweat the milk. Huh? They sweat the milk out. Oh my god. Imagine how stinky you would be if you sweated milk. Ugh. Duck beaver. Oh. Oh, beaver duck refers to a platypus. Oh, I didn't know that actually. Oh. I mean, platypus, I feel like they should be cute, but they're just kind of scary to me. Like, they're so weird. I don't know if I could ever fully comprehend. I mean, they are kind of cute. The beak, the bill looks very odd. Now, speaking of beavers, though, beavers are amazing. And yours is even better. I'm kidding. Beavers are brilliant. Do you know that beavers... I was watching a documentary bit about beavers a while ago, and beavers, it's like, you know, they build the dams purely on instinct, and the dams are so well made and so well insulated that it's very difficult for humans to break them apart. And if humans need to destroy a beaver dam, they need to use dynamite to get rid of it. But beavers, they're so intelligent and they know exactly how to do it. And they are friends with, I think it's wombats. I think it's beavers and wombats. Yeah, wombats and beaver. Oh no, wait. What? Hang on. Is it not a wombat? Beaver. Which animal is the beaver's friend? Because there's an animal that goes. River otters, playmates of beavers. No, it was different. I think it was it a wombat? What was it? Which animal lives in beaver den with the beavers? Muskrats! That's it. It's a muskrat. The muskrat, like, the beavers are very territorial, but they allow the muskrats into the beaver dam because the muskrats, they bring food and foliage and stuff. But I think a lot of people think that the beavers just enjoy their company, you know? Wow. Wolflad, thank you for the super. What animal would you associate kindred with? You guys are like little blobs to me. You guys are like, it's like when I was playing Satisfactory and I put the power slug on the conveyor belt and I was like, that's you guys. To me, I mean, after the worm stream, I should say you're worms, but to me, you're more like really cute little red slugs with little eye stalks, and you're just looking around like, hello. You're like a cute little amoeba, you know? I don't know. You're like an amorphous blob with a tiny little face that just goes, hello. Here's the tiny little thing. You know? I don't know. Sunny, thank you for the super. You see this tiny chameleon, it could climb on your finger. Oh. Have you seen Hoppers? I should watch Hoppers. I've heard it's funny. And I like watching family movies by myself sometimes. I think it might be a good time. Blood clot. No. No. What if I don't want to be associated with a blob? Okay, then if you don't want to be a cute, adorable little blob that sits on my desk and stares at me, then you're a perfectly normal, crazy, attractive 10 out of 10 human being. How about that? You can be one or the other. And if you're going to hit me with, no, but I'm ugly. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you're not. Not to me, you're not. Red desert rain frogs, that's cute too. That's cute too. Why not both? I don't know. I don't really... I don't know. If you could shapeshift, that would be cool. I don't really view tiny amorphous blobs as particularly attractive. I don't see the sex appeal in tiny red amorphous blobs. Do you have an animal that you hate? animal that I hate? Well, flies, really. I mean, flies are just fucking so annoying, you know. Thankfully, in the UK, I mean, mosquitoes are horrible. Do you guys know mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world? They're responsible for 750,000 to 1 million deaths per year. Mosquitoes, you know, we think about, like, you know, the most dangerous animals on Earth being these big, you know, like hippos, for example, or bears. But no, most people, the animal that kills the most people is the mosquito. Up to 1 million people a year die because of diseases spread by mosquitoes. It's terrifying. But yeah, flies, particularly, like, I don't really mind blue bottles or, like, you know, any sort of decent sized fly that buzzes around. It's just drain flies. Like the flies where if one part of your house is not seen to for a little while, or if you have some clutter or something, or if you forget about one thing in your house, which as a, you know, as the attention deficit hyperactivity demon, I do often, those types of tiny little flies will just immediately run over to it and suddenly you have a problem. It's just, ugh, it's so gross. You know, I'm not sure if I told you guys about it recently, but I had a situation where I have, multiple, you know, because this apartment is pretty nice. I have multiple bathrooms, and in one of the bathrooms that's close to, it's sort of like the guest bathroom, that's closer to the front door. It has a shower in it, but I don't really use that shower. I use the shower in my own bathroom that's near to my bedroom. That shower, I didn't really realize for a long time that if you have an active, if you have plumbing anywhere, you should keep water flowing through it every once in a while. And there was one morning I went down to that bathroom to use the toilet, and I looked and I saw 4 flies floating around in the water, and I was like, 4 flies? What's that about? And then I turn towards the shower, and oh my god, flies coming, like swarms of flies coming out of the drain. And so I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is that? Why is that happening? And I looked it up, and they're called drain flies, and if you don't run the water down your drain enough, then they lay a load of eggs in the blobby membrane that goes down the plug. And it was like literally hundreds and hundreds of flies crawling out of the drain. And I was like, oh my fucking god. And it was nasty. It was very nasty. Thankfully, that was... You know what the thing about flies is? They're very annoying and they're gross, but a fly infestation is quite easy to deal with. You just put a few traps around and then they just sort of disappear after a while. So it's not nearly as bad. And in that instance, I should say my least favorite animal is rats, but I love rats. Pet rats are so friendly and wonderful, and they love to be pets, and they form strong bonds, and they are adorable and amazing. And so even though I've had the most annoying problems with rats, due to the incompetent building management in the apartment block that I live in, I could never hate rats because they're just so amazing. And I know people who have had pet rats, and they are the loveliest animals that you could possibly keep as pets. It's the fact that hamsters don't actually really enjoy being pets that much, but rats really do. Rats make very, very happy pets. Mochi Bunny, thank you for the super. Okay, you can be my little bunny. I'll put you on my lap and I'll pet you like Mr. Evil, and I'll say, Austin Powers, you're finally here, and I'll give you a little kiss. Have you ever encountered a skunk? I have. I don't think so. I might have seen one a very, very long time ago when I was living in America, but obviously that was many years ago. Skunks are not in the UK. Some people in the UK have them as exotic pets, but I don't believe this is legal. Escaped or abandoned pet skunks are spotted in the wild in the UK very rarely, but they are not native to the UK. So I've never actually seen a skunk, I don't think. They say we hate mosquitoes and parasitic worms. Yeah, I'd say I hate those. I mean, I don't really have much experience with mosquitoes personally, thankfully. There are mosquitoes in the UK, but they're very rare. At least I think so. Now, the thing about UK mosquitoes, they do exist and they are around. There are about 30 native mosquito species in the UK, but they tend not to carry dangerous diseases, is the thing. UK mosquitoes, they can suck your blood and they're very annoying. They're a nuisance and they can make you itch, but apparently they can carry West Nile virus, but otherwise, you can't catch malaria, for example, which is the big killer that mosquitoes spread all over the place. Aww. Appears a cute hamster, so you won't chase me away. No, I'll keep you on a little hamster ball and roll you around. That'd be so cute. Tapeworms. Ugh. Now we're getting into the really gross animals. Ugh. Oh, God. No, thank you. Not a fan of those. Not a fan of tapeworms at all. Just even, oh, God. God, seeing like the head of it, oh, God, I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that so much. I never knew what a tapeworm's head looks like. You know how, like, today we've even talked about a lot of animals that are typically scary, like spiders, and it's like, even though I find some spiders scary, like, I still find them cute, and I definitely have a lot of, feelings and empathy for spiders, and if I catch a spider in my office, I'll take it outside. We even had Lemon, little carpet beetle that I thought was a ladybird, because I'm an idiot, and took it outside, and that was very sweet. I look at a tapeworm, and I'm like, I have no empathy for this creature whatsoever. I have absolutely no desire to protect this thing's life. I think that if you see this thing, you need to just eradicate it immediately. Just get rid of it. Just absolutely destroy it. Okay, actually, do you know what I hate more than anything? The one creature that scares me more than anything? It has to be, I remember seeing this on a documentary a long time ago, the bobbit worm. I mean, they are brilliant in a horror sense, but they are like I can only imagine that if God truly was responsible for designing and creating all of the life on Earth, God is a cruel bastard, because who the fuck comes up with that? Who comes up with this? The bobbit worm, I'm not going to show an image of it on stream, but you can feel free to look it up. I'll tell you what a bobbit worm does. Bobbit worms are marine bear traps, right? Bobbit worms dig really deep into the ocean bed, and they prop open their giant fangs like a bear trap, and they just sit there and they wait. They wait and they wait and they wait, and they have feelers that sit around, and if a fish goes too close, they bam, and they drag it down. They are something about the idea of, like, having a swim or being at the beach and then like stepping around or whatever, and then stepping on one of these and having it just go straight into my foot, and having this enormous worm like clinging onto my foot for dear. Oh God. No, I'd say that's my least favorite animal. And I've never even encountered one in real life before. And I pray to God, knock on wood, pray to God I never do. I like, Jesus Christ. Like this animal is a cruel prank, I think, from whatever God does exist. And for whatever his idea was when creating this, it was clearly a very cruel one. Someone else mentioned an interesting animal I want to... Ribbon worm? I've never seen... What's a ribbon worm? I mean, they're not as bad as tapeworms, but they're still pretty weird. Oh no, they're the one that shoots the thing out! Oh no, I don't like that. They're the one that just vomits up all their guts and shit. They're the one that just shoots out the giant web of white blare, and then it's like, oh God, I can't stand them. Heard of the gulper eel? What is the gulper eel? I think I have. Oh, okay. They're scary, but I kind of love them. The gulper eel, oh my God. I mean, yeah, that's pure underwater horror right there. The gulper eel with its... I mean, the fact is they're very small, actually. If you see them compared to the human hand, they're very, very tiny. But the gulper eel, oh my goodness, that thing is very terrifying. just with this huge mouth. Ugh. Ugh. Tardigrades. Do they look like how I remember the... Oh my god. Okay. Now tardigrades, they're microscopic, aren't they? Yeah. And they're very resilient. They're like extremophiles, and they can survive in any environment. Yes. They are disgusting, but I'm going to be honest. They are kind of cute in a weird way. Tardigrades, like, look at them. They look like the caterpillar from Bug's Life, who was like, oh yeah, I'm going to... Like, the tardigrade, it looks like... Yeah. It's like a microscopic bear. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. I mean, I don't like the face, the little, like, toothy front face, and it looks like it's made of... It looks like it's made of khaki jeans. Looks like it's made of cargo pants. But they look like bears in hazmats. They're kind of weirdly cute. They're chubby and they got stubby little legs, you know. And also, a tardigrade's never going to hurt you. Like, they're too tiny. First described by a German zoologist in 1773. They are 0.5 millimeters long. Oh, that's bigger than I would have thought, actually. 0.5 millimeters long when fully grown. Wow. Cryptobiosis, primarily through anhydrobiosis, where they dehydrate into a ton state, retracting limbs and suspending metabolism to near zero. And then they can live... Yeah, I mean, the thing about tardigrades is they can survive almost anything. Like, almost any situation. They just keep living. Angelia, thank you for the super. If I could be any animal, I want to be a fennec fox. They're so cute, the fennec fox. Oh, thank you for telling me to look at an animal that is really cute and not disgusting now. Because, yeah, I need to look at some fennec foxes. They're very, very sweet looking. Ah. Yep, these are beautiful, beautiful, cute animals. And you can just tell by looking at them that at least 700 furries, at least 700,000 furries have chosen the fennec fox to be their fursona because... They just kind of look like that, you know? Like they look like they would fit more in Zootopia than in real life. Yukimi, thank you for the super. If you like beautiful insects, a Japanese beetle called the tamamushi. Tamamushi. It has these amazing iridescent colors. Ooh, tamamushi. Tamamushi. Oh, the jewel beetle. Oh, yes. No, I have seen a jewel beetle before. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember the name, but I've seen these beetles before. They remind me of the emerald beetle from. I remember I saw quite a few emerald beetles in Mexico when I went there about a decade ago. They don't look. They look very similar. The emerald ash borer. But the emerald beetle, yeah, it's a lot wider. It looks more like a Hercules beetle, but it's very green. I saw quite a few of those. They're quite big. They're quite big, but completely harmless from what I know. Oh, never mind. The emerald ash borer is metallic green. It kills North American ash trees. It's a highly destructive invasive species. Oh dear. Never mind them. Wallflower, thank you so much for the super. Did you hear that Punch has a friend now? I've seen a lot of Punch. I've seen a lot of Punch being groomed by other monkeys, and I'm very happy to see that Punch has some friends now. Punch is so famous. Punch has really captured the people's imaginations so well. I've yet to see anything like it really. It reminds me. I mean, it's like. I think it's just the imagery of a monkey cuddling with a toy. It's again, it provokes so much empathy. It provokes so much empathy from people, and it kind of gets even people who never really think about animals to stop and, you know, appreciate that at one point, you know, when you were a baby, that monkey could very much have been you. You know, he's just a kid on a playground who gets picked on by the other bigger monkeys, and he wants to cuddle with his toy. And it raises awareness for a lot of the people who still like stuffed animals, even though they've all grown up. Punch has a girlfriend? Shit, Punch, what are you doing? Punch is too young for a girlfriend. He should be playing with his toys. But if he's happy, I mean, you know, what am I to stop him? Oh, young love. Jen, thank you for the super. You get to go to sleep. Listening to you talk about animals is the perfect bedtime story. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. He should be at the club. He should not. I'm glad you had a nice time, Jen. Thank you for the super. I hope you have a nice sleep. He's just a little baby. I know, he's just a little baby. He's a little baby. Apu, thank you. Really good to have you back. All right, bedtime for you. I hope you have a nice little sleep. I'm going to miss you. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, that's kids when they like when they decide to start a relationship and they're together for like 3 days, and then it's like, you know what, I don't like you, I like this I like this other guy now, and they're like, no. I remember this really old video, and it was like something about like, it was like To Catch a Cheetah, wasn't it? And it was literally like kids. It was like like a girl who was 11 and a boy who was 12, and he tries to ask her out, and he says, hey, you into older guys? Because he's like 4 months older than her or something like that. I don't know. I think it's very, it's cute in real life, but it's very, I don't think it's great to sort of monetize that type of an interaction, because those kids are going to be so embarrassed when they grow up. You know, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's common sense to think, no, they should be at home playing video games and getting in the dirt, but also, you know, they're gonna do that kind of stuff. Best to just, you know, if you're a parent, just, you know, hopefully your kid trusts you enough to tell you about these kind of things, so you can lay down some advice and be like, all right, just don't go crazy now. Yeah. Yukimi, thank you for the super. In Japan, there are traditional crafts that use the wings of the jewel beetle. Oh, I think I've heard of stuff like that too. Tokito, spend the whole day watching short-eared elephant shrews twitch their tiny noses. Oh yeah, elephant shrews. Oh, they're so weird. The elephant shrew is so weird. They're so, like, the elephant shrew, oh my god, I remember looking at these recently. The elephant, oh my god. The elephant shrew is one of those things where it's like, again, the elephant shrew is like literally, if God created the animals, he was having a field day with elephant shrews, because what the fuck is this? Like, how did you come up with this? It is a mouse, but they gave it a little elephant's trunk. They turned it into a mouse anteater, mouse elephant. Why? For what reason? What is the point of that? This animal, it doesn't look real. It doesn't look like it should exist. It looks like a genetic mistake. It looks like a spore creature. They are so cute, but God, they are like, oh, and the little one that's yawning. At Chester Zoo, I've been to Chester Zoo. I love Chester Zoo. It's a brilliant zoo. I gotta go back to Chester Zoo. Man, I went to Chester Zoo a long time ago. I really want to go back now. Oh, he's yawning. Oh, look at this. Oh. Yuki Mo, thank you for 10 gifted. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you again. I hope you've been doing well. Tapirs. Everybody wants me to talk about their favorite animal. Tapirs. Remind me what tapirs look like. Oh, again, so silly looking. The lowland tapir. So it's like a pig. It's like a pig elephant with a snout, but it's also kind of like a donkey, and weird, but kind of cute and fascinating as well. No, I love a tapir, but like, Jesus Christ, what were they thinking? What are they thinking with this animal? Siphonophore, the longest animal. I don't know about the. Oh, ooh. I mean, it's kind of beautiful. It's scary, but it's kind of beautiful in a way. The world's longest animal discovered in Australian waters. Of course, it was near bloody Australia. A siphonophore, yeah. You know, my first thought, I mean, it's kind of Reddit of me to say this, but it kind of feels like this would be the inspiration for an Elden Ring boss, like a FromSoft, more like Bloodborne. I feel like a siphonophore, the worm this long, would be a great From Software boss, you know? I feel like that's something that they would take inspiration from, particularly with like Estelle, Natural Born of the Void, or similar ROM, Vacuous Spider, and all of that kind of stuff. Like long jellyfish, but they aren't jellyfish. The Portuguese man of war is a fascinating animal. The fact that it's a jellyfish, and the Portuguese man of war as well is, you know, so unbelievably dangerous, and many people who've been wrapped in its tentacles die and all of that. But the fact that it's kind of a jellyfish, but it's just a bag of air with a sail, and it goes with the wind. Other jellyfish float underwater, but the Portuguese man of war floats along the shore with a sail in its head. Who comes up with this? I had to talk to the concept of evolution, just ask it why. Angelia, thank you for the super. Do you think pandas are cute? I love pandas. I love pandas, and I think it's fascinating that that China offers pandas to they do the panda exchange, and they will send a panda to a different country as a form of diplomacy. I think it's brilliant, honestly. Not only as like a symbol, you know, very much pandas a symbol of China, but also the fact that the idea of a really cute animal being given to another country is a form of diplomacy. But also sometimes, I think recently China has been taking a lot of their pandas back. Yeah, China takes back the pandas. Yeah, from Tokyo, twin pandas Xiao Xiao and Lele returned to China from Tokyo's Ueno Zoo. Aww. It's so it's sad, but it's interesting. It's interesting as well that it's something that needs to happen, you know, and that much sort of national interest in specific, not just pandas in general, but these two specific pandas. Like, we need those pandas back. There's a Mexican panda. There's a Mexican panda. Oh my God. I did not know that. Aww. Red pandas are very cute. They're not even really pandas, are they? Like, red pandas are more like foxes. Is it a bear or like what? It's yeah. It's more closely related. Yeah. This is what I thought. More closely related to raccoons, weasels, and skunks. Not closely related to the giant panda, but they do have the sort of similar, I guess, you know, their face has a similar enough kind of pattern to a panda that it kind of, you can understand why they were called that, and they're very cute as well. I mean, the big similarities that both red and giant pandas are very, very cute. Burnt Peanut sent me here to call you a slur. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure my chat already filters out as many slurs as I could think of. So, yeah, you're gonna have to think of a really good one. If you want to get it past my chat filters, you're gonna have to think of a really good one. Okay? God, that's hilarious. That's so funny. I'm looking for bro in chat to try and ban him, but I can't find him. All right, everybody. If a very strange, obscure slur shows up, you just be prepared for that. Okay. Ever heard of a blue dragon? I've heard of them in RuneScape. Blue dragons are in RuneScape. Vorkath is a blue dragon. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. They're like jellyfish. Bizarre underwater blue dragon fights with stolen jellyfish venom. It's a sea slug. Wow. That is the most stunning animal I've ever seen. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The blue dragon. I've never heard of that. That is absolutely amazing. Wow. Angelia, I miss Baba. Don't miss Baba. He's right here. Baba's right over here. Come on, Baba. Where are you? There you are, little buddy. Baba's always in my office. Say hello, Baba. Yeah, Baba's still here. I have Baba on my lap for a little bit. I still have Baba. Baba from RuneScape? No, funnily enough, Baba. So I have a monkey plushie called Baba. He's Baba was for those of you who are new around here. Baba was my D&D character. When I was living with my roommates in the first 6 months of my career in Niji, I was still living with roommates who I'd been with while I was at university. And we did a D&D campaign, and my buddy who DM'd for the campaign, he homebrewed a lot of it. And one of the races you could play as was monkeys. I think he basically homebrewed that because he knew I liked monkeys and was like, yeah, this is going to be funny if we make one of the playable races a monkey. So I made my character Baba, and he's a bard rogue hybrid character. But the funny thing is that I was going charity shopping at the time, and I found this little monkey plushie. He's actually a hand puppet. He's a hand puppet, so you can put your hand up his ass. I found this little monkey hand puppet for only £3 in this charity shop, charity shop, and I thought, wow, isn't he funny? Isn't he funny? His eyes are so weird because he looks like he's staring at you no matter where you look at him. And then I put him back down. I just thought, I don't need a monkey plushie, whatever. And then somebody else walked in and they picked him up and looked at him and put him back down. And I suddenly thought, oh my God, I have to buy that monkey. And so I got him. I paid £3 for this monkey. And then here he is today. He has a little yellow waistcoat and a belt and a purple cape because that was his costume for D&D, and one of my other roommates stitched it for him, which was very nice of them. And now here he is. And the fascinating thing to me about Baba was that he... and so what's interesting is I had a monkey called Baba that was very important to me before the Tombs of Amascut raid was added to RuneScape with Baba, the giant mother monkey. So it's in my mind, I like to imagine that they were referencing my monkey, but I don't think they were. But yeah, what I found so interesting about Baba was the fact that I had told so many people about him. From my old RuneScape streams, actually, I told people about Baba just while talking about it. And what was really interesting for me about, that happening in the early days is that people, started viewing Baba as a part of, like, my identity. And there were times when people would do big scale projects, like, for when I hit 1 million subscribers, when, we had like our anniversary, or when it was my birthday and so on. And then Baba got included in a lot of those graphics and a lot of that art. And so it was brilliant for me to see an example of how things that seemed like a big part of my life, but that would be insignificant to most other people, suddenly became important to so many people because of how important I became to you as Yoroshi. And the most amazing thing was whenever I would see Baba in a piece of big art, I would show it to my roommates and they would think it was the most surreal thing ever. In particularly, Baba, I believe, I can't quite remember where, but people drew some amazing artwork of me for my birthday, and they put Baba on the side of a bus. They paid for ad space on a bus, and there was for a little while a Baba on the bus, and I sent the picture like, hey, here's a bus in Asia with Baba on the side, and my roommates were just losing their mind over it. They thought, isn't life crazy? And yeah, life is crazy, and I owe a lot of that, a lot of the learning that I've done about that kind of thing to Baba, because I love him. And that's the story of this funny little monkey I have. That's the story all about how he's a monkey. Yeah, I know. I had an idea for what I wanted to do for telling the story of the campaign, because it was really fun. It was great fun, that campaign, and I was talking with the DM about maybe writing up like a retread of the whole story, but I don't think we ever got around to it. It's definitely something that I wanna try and do someday, but it's been like 4 years since then. But you never know. It might be interesting to do after all this time. Baba debut when? Yeah. I actually did a lot of work for Baba's debut, but I think at the time I was just experiencing a lot of motivational challenges, and I just, every time it came around to actually doing the stream, I just suddenly felt this pang of like, oh God, I'm, you know, a lot of anxiety, I think, around just, even though it was just doing a silly stream. Maybe now that I feel like doing more edited videos rather than streams in some cases, like some ideas I can try and just do them as a video rather than as a stream, it might make it a lot easier for me to give those things a try. I'm going back to Adobe stock. I want to see what other animals they've got. How much footage they have of sea lions. Oh, they're so good. They're so sweet and fantastic. I love sea lions. What's amazing about sea lions is that they're so, like, they get big when they get older. Like, sea lions get really massive. Oh, they have manatees as well. Oh. I think I'm good enough at editing that I could probably do, like, I could mock up, you know, some nature documentary stuff from the footage on Adobe stock. I think I could do a good job at mimicking the editing style of a nature documentary and putting a lot of that together. And I need to justify my purchase as well, because for the English learning streams, I needed to download so much stock footage that I needed to upgrade to the unlimited subscription on Adobe stock, which was which is not insane, but it's pretty fucking expensive. So I needed to do that, and so now I have to justify that. But now that I have unlimited assets, I can download as much videos of sea lions as I want, and then obviously I have a license to use them because it's stock footage. So that's good. You know, little it sort of loops around. Now I've got more reasons to use Adobe stock. Yukimi, thank you for the super. No, they're not hard to read, Yukimi. You're doing just fine. Don't you get anxious on me. It's totally okay. I must have just gotten distracted. Yukimi, is there a little kindred hiding behind Baba? If you're on my lap right now, there might be. Baba, look. He's fine with it. He's fine with it. Because you can share. You never know. You never know. Gosh. I want one of those like 24-hour animal cameras where it's like, oh, watch the owls for 24 hours. It's a manatee. That's not a sea lion Adobe stock. That's a manatee. They've put a manatee on there. Whoever uploaded this to the stock footage website has a manatee and they called it a sea lion. How much manatee footage they have? Oh, they're brilliant. Oh, goodness. I don't know why I never thought about looking for stock footage of my favorite animals. I guess it's, you know, it's usually easier to watch content that's already been edited, but still making my own stuff about animals. I have to do a lot of reading to make sure I'm not misinforming people. Because there's a lot of misinfo out there about animals, especially with those fucking AI narrated ones, you know, where it'll be like, it'll have that like very feminine AI generated voice, and it'll say like, this is the sea lion. Oh, that's the TikTok voice, but it's more like, what's crazy about these animals is that they might do this, and all they're doing is describing what's in a video, which is actually very abnormal for that animal and isn't like their real behavior at all, but it will just say that that's part of their normal behavior. And, you know, it's out there telling you to go and pet animals that you definitely should not pet. No, I find them very frustrating to see, where sometimes I just want to learn something about an animal, but they just, you know, chock them full. It's clearly the script was written by ChatGPT. It's narrated by ChatGPT. It's just the. I love the hive mind in chat. The amount of yeahs. Yeah, all with an ellipsis. Yeah. I mean, like the boo-boo sends kisses to Baba. Head pats for you taking care of him. Yes, always. Always looking after him. And thank you, boo-boo. I send kisses back to boo-boo. Faith, thank you for the super. Did finish a drawing of you yesterday and posted it in the tag. Oh, I hope I can find that on the tag. It's so nice. It's been so nice hearing everybody getting on with fan art in their own style. Oh. No. Just watching videos of manatees now. I'm getting distracted now. Just watching all of these manatee videos. Oh. Look at these big fat guys. Just going around on the ocean floor like, today I think plant. Today I think kelp. I think lettuce. I think maybe part of my fascination with animals stems from a desire, you know. I think that there's a certain envy that a lot of people feel towards, you know, certain animals having a much simpler life than you do when you're a part of human society like I am. And as all of you are as well, whether you like it or not. I mean, animals don't have to pay taxes. Animals don't have to worry about, they have to worry about survival, of course, but in many cases, animals like the manatee, you know, have no natural predators, so they're just floating around. And I think there's something very fascinating about that to us, you know, given that we're always busy. Manatees just spend all day eating kelp off the floor. That's it. Yukimi, thank you for the super. You're looking forward to what you're going to share. Yes, it's a doozy. It's a real doozy, but I look forward to sharing it. Mirai, thank you for the super. I have a cute baby gorilla plushie. Named him 88. Oh, it's pronounced the same as Baba in Chinese. That's so cute, which is also Solomon Serpico's call sign. So, very interesting, the number 88 for us, isn't it? Want to be a spoiled house cat. I mean, okay, spoiled house cats really have nothing to worry about. Just imagine that. You're just lying down in the sun all day. No thoughts, no responsibilities. You just meow meow. All you do is meow meow. Can we eat your kelp off your floor and not pay rent too? Alright, fine. As long as, well, I mean, I don't have any kelp. I don't have any kelp on the floor. And if I had to fund every kindred's diet on kelp, I think I would, you know, I'd put myself out of house and home. That's a lot of kelp. There's more than 1 million of you guys. Only meow meow. It's funny how lions, you know, they're predators and they need to hunt and kill and all of that kind of stuff. But most of what lions do, especially the you know, those big the male lions. I think it's the lionesses that do most of the work, and then the male lions, they just sort of lie in the sun, and the female lion's like, "Get up, you useless sack of shit," and he's like, "That's a bear." Like, are male lions lazy? Highly strategic energy conservators, often resting 16 to 20 hours a day. Sounds pretty lazy to me, I don't know. Males play a vital active role in protecting the pride. I don't know about all that. I mean, the males, I think lions are one of the few examples where the males definitely, apart from their behavior, the males definitely do outslay the lionesses, because Jesus Christ, that hair is ridiculous. Some of the most beautiful plumage you can see in the animal kingdom. I think it's fantastic the way. I mean, male lions are just, you know, the male lion that leads the pride with that huge mane. It's such an iconic look. Such an iconic look. You know, MGM logo. So many different logos and graphic designers use the shape of a lion's mane as all of that. It's really, really fascinating. I'm not lazy, I'm a highly strategic energy conservator. Yeah. Wallflower, thank you for the super. I took a personality test and my spirit animal is a seal. Will you feed me fish? Of course I'll feed you some fish. Of course I'll feed you fish. Just make sure not to bite me back. Nade, thank you for the super. A little love letter. Even though the algorithm hasn't been kind and my fan art doesn't seem to reach you lately, I'll keep drawing in the style I love and cheering you on. I love you. I'm really happy that you want to keep drawing, and you should. I'm never going to be able to see everyone's fan art. And sometimes I think like, man, I really don't want anyone to feel like I really don't want anyone to feel like I value other people's contributions over anyone else's, because it's just amazing to have people work hard and draw fan art of me in any way. But I just wouldn't want you to worry. Every time I see your art, it always makes me smile, and that goes for everybody. Damien, yeah, I know. They cheers. They go like, rawr, rawr. They're They're so cute. Cheetahs are very cute. What do they sound like? They sound like this. Meow. 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 What's the... And then they go like... Ew. They're sweet, aren't they? They're very sweet, aren't they? Misty, thank you for the super. I'd like to be the Bart next to your Homer Simpson because I only envision our bond with a visceral reaction to my intellectual takes. Your next outfit should be the Onceler. No. No. For you, Bart, nothing. Please make animal noises when you make the shorts. That's a funny idea. I'll do like a whole documentary style thing and be like, today's animal is the seal. The seal talks about behavior, talks about thing. The seal sounds kind of like this. The seal also sometimes sounds like... Have you seen the video of a seal sneezing? It's disgusting. It like launches all the snot out of its nose at 100 miles an hour. It's like... Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing that for, man? Get some tissue out. Come on. A Tarzia. Oh my god. Tarzia, wow. Tarzia is there a little bit, gonna be honest. I feel like I should find them cute, but they're a little scary. Those eyes are very beady, aren't they? They're a little bit scary to me. I'm going to be honest. They're kind of unsettling. You know what it is? Tarsiers, they look like gremlins. And I'm not talking about a gremlin in the, I'm not talking about the gremlins like in the general sense. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I've got gremlin crackhead energy, whatever the fuck. You know, you guys might remember there was a movie that came out in the 80s called Gremlins. They sort of look like a practical effects puppet from an 80s movie, you know? Much like the Gremlins. And yeah, this most likely was the inspiration for Yoda. Yeah, they're a little scary to me, but I think what it is like the beady eyes, it's like they're so close to being cute, but the beady eyes really give me a lot of uncanny valley. It's like they're so close to being cute that it makes them more scary than if they were a little bit more gross, you know? They kill themselves if you stress them out. Is that true? That's crazy. Captive Tarsiers have been reported to kill themselves when under extreme stress. Oh dear. Well, that's terribly sad. That is horribly, horribly sad. Well, everybody, let's not try and domesticate any Tarsiers. Let's just leave them to the trees so they can be creepy and stare at us without needing to do all that. Yukimi, thank you for the super. Do you have an Alamo where my lord's voice starts as a tiny kitten and gradually turns into a big cat meow? A puppy version would be cute too. Well, we did talk about that, didn't we? We did talk about the idea of me being an Alamo and then being very gentle in the beginning and saying, come on, Kindred, it's time to get up. You've had a nice long sleep, but you need to get up now. It's time to start your day. And then if you take 30 minutes, I'll be like, I have had it up to fucking here with your bullshit. It is not that fucking hard to get out of the bed. You're an adult. Come on. Wake up before I lose my fucking patience. We have to go now. You know? I think that'd be pretty funny. We're going to be late and I'm going to get stressed out again. I'm going to have to look after you all day because you can't stop acting like a fucking baby. Sort it out. Jesus fucking Christ. Red-bearded vultures. Ooh. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful animal. That is an absolutely stunning creature. Look at that. Horrifying, but, you know, very beautiful plumage on that. Wow, 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 wow. He used to offer me coffee. No, because you should not be drinking caffeine less than an hour after you've woken up. If you do that, then your body will start to rely on caffeine, and that is why you feel so groggy in the morning. If you have coffee the moment you wake up every morning, then you're going to be really groggy because your body will start to need coffee to wake up. So you need to wait an hour before you have your coffee in the morning, okay, guys? That's how caffeine addiction happens. Remember, caffeine is very socially normalized and it is legal everywhere in the world, but caffeine is a drug and you can get addicted to it. You can get addicted and reliant on caffeine. The more caffeine you have, the more you'll rely on it, and eventually you'll need caffeine just to wake up normally. I know mornings are hard, but you guys, you need to look after your bodies. You need to wake up and wait at least an hour before you have, you know what the solution is? Obviously, remember what I say about considering the fact that my advice only applies to the majority of people, not everyone. I know some of you are going to be like, but I have insomnia. The best solution is to go the fuck to bed early, okay? I know it's hard sometimes because you might be really, really busy, but I mean it, right? Cut out certain parts of your day so that you can afford to go to bed early. Genuinely, a lot of you guys are going to have like nightly routines. A lot of you guys are going to have like things that you really want to do late at night. Some of you guys might be like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. If there is anything that you can afford to cut out of your day so that you can have more sleep, you need to do it. You need to do it because the difference in your daily life, when you are not, when you have slept plenty is unbelievable. You won't be able to believe just how much better you will feel if you are regularly getting 8 hours of sleep. I know, 7 hours is fine, 6 hours is pushing it, but you'll get there. 8 hours is kind of, you need an average of 8 hours, okay? Yukimi, thank you for the super. I asked because I remember, Yuri, thank you very much for the raid. Yukimi, I asked because I remember we already got a human version from one of my past super chat. I'm wondering if there might be a cat or a dog version too. I'd be like, I don't know if my cat roar is very good. I feel like, you know what? If I was to do a dog version, I could probably do that. If the dog version, it would start out like, meh, meh, meh. And maybe I could go like, come on, wake up, and then it just goes on to the longer you don't get the fuck out of bed. Avis, thank you very much for the super. I'm looking forward to the coming streams as well. I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you have a lovely, lovely sleep. Cats sound freaky when they fight. They do. It's really sweet. It's really sweet. But like the fact that the cat noises, it's like the hissing is more when they're scared. If they're scared, they go. But if they're angry and they're fighting, it's the stupid ass like. Why do they do that? Am I a morning person or a night person? I am absolutely a morning person. Sometimes my sleep schedule gets fucked up and I'm up all night or whatever it is and I wake up at like 11 a.m. I'm at my absolute best when I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, ooh, it's time for a good day. I get up, I get my chores done, make myself breakfast, I'm moving around. I love getting up early. Getting up early is the best thing in the world. And honestly, when you guys, this is what I'm saying. You got to go to bed earlier. If you're feeling sleep deprived, go to bed earlier. Because when you wake up, the feeling of waking up early, the feeling of waking up early and being awake enough to actually get out of bed at like 6:30 in the morning, God, it feels great. It feels so good. You're so active and you're like, I'm so ready to take on the day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it feels like you have so much more time to yourself. Thing is, if you're really stressed, a lot of the time you probably, work can be really rough, but a lot of the time you need to give yourself yourself free time in the morning rather than at night, because at night your body, because it's dark, your body is winding down, it's ready to go to bed, right? if that's what's happening, then you're not going to be able to focus and enjoy your hobbies or the TV you're watching or anything if it happens late at night. Whereas if it's early in the morning, that's when your body is like, right, time to start the day. And you're going to enjoy your free time a whole lot more if you're wide awake early on. So that's, it will really contribute to lower stress if you're able to slow down, if you're able to go to sleep earlier and also wake up earlier. Like it does just make you feel better. Feel tired again. Now, feel really energetic at 6, but feeling tired again at 7 or 8. The way to sort this, in my opinion, is to just try and get up and move around. Like if you're up and about, and also if you've had like a really good breakfast, I think maybe try and make sure you're not eating too much. Make sure you're eating the right amount. This is why, a light breakfast can be important. Something really good is like yogurt and maybe some banana might be nice for breakfast. Blueberries are really good. Fruit is great. High in sugar, great sort of fruit is very energizing. A lot of the time if you have, I love a full English, sausages, eggs, bacon, whatever, but this is quite heavy, and a lot of the time that can slow you down a little bit in the morning. Having a light, healthy breakfast is going to give you a lot more energy. A lot of you guys, I know, don't you lie to me. Well, I know a lot of you guys don't eat breakfast. Don't you know it's the most important meal of the day? It's true. But I know a lot of you guys don't even eat breakfast. A lot of you guys are like, well, I'm just going to go to work, and you won't eat breakfast at all. You need to eat breakfast, guys. I'm telling you right now, eating breakfast is very, very important. They call it the most important meal of the day for a reason. I know you guys are skipping breakfast. And the thing about breakfast is that it's also the easiest meal of the day, because at the end of the day, you don't actually need to cook anything. Breakfast cereal. It's not the best for you, okay? It's not perfect, but breakfast cereal, you pour it into a bowl and usually pour some milk in, and then it's ready to eat. That's all you need to do, okay? Protein bar is not nothing. Protein bar is better than nothing, okay? It's not perfect, but a protein bar, as long as you're eating something, running on no fuel throughout the day, it's not good for you. It's going to add to your stress. You need to have breakfast. What if my breakfast is a cup of coffee? You're going to die! You're going to die! If your breakfast is a single... If you are drinking caffeine first thing in the morning and not eating, you are going to die. I'm telling you right now, if you have coffee in the morning, fine, whatever. Fine, whatever. You must eat with that coffee, okay? Because, oh my God. Stimulants... All right, let me tell you about this. Just, you need to understand. Caffeine, all it does, it doesn't energize you. All caffeine does is, as a stimulant, it helps you ignore the symptoms of tiredness. Your body, you just don't feel them as much. Damien, really quick, I'm doing supers. Damien, thank you for the super. Oh, I'm really, really glad that you're seeing a psychiatrist. That's such wonderful news. And Yukimi, thank you for the super. I heard you mention mornings. I asked about a full breakfast. What are the must-have items? We'll talk about breakfast in a little bit. I'll probably get around to it. But listen, stimulants will help you ignore the effects of tiredness. So when you have caffeine and you feel more energized, all you're doing is not feeling the symptoms of tiredness. You don't feel tired because the caffeine is helping you ignore it. But your body and your brain are still experiencing the tiredness. You're just stretching them thinner. You're pushing your body harder than it would go normally because you're able to just keep moving regardless. And long term, that is not good for your heart. It will have an impact on your heart after a while. So, you need to eat food. Your body requires fuel. Caffeine is not fuel. Caffeine helps with a busy lifestyle. And I'm guilty of it too. I love to have a coffee in the morning sometimes, but you need to eat food with it. Food is actual fuel for your body. That is what matters. If you're not eating anything, your body will not have fuel, and eventually you will crash and burn. Kimiona, thank you for the super. I'm so glad. I've really enjoyed seeing your art. I think it was you who did the edit with me and Nana and all like the different universes. I thought it was very, very sweet. No, I didn't even read the end of your super. The universe one. It's so cute. Really glad to have seen your art. I think it's lovely. Wolflat, thank you for the super. My 3-year-old cat has a virus. Aww. She usually is the one to wake me up in the morning. So this is why pets are good. You can be, no, you got to make it with a kettle. Anyway, or a coffee machine, whatever the fuck. Anyway, what I was going to say is I'm going to drink water before I continue, because this is important stuff. You guys need to know this, okay? So I heard a story recently from my own dad. My dad told me a story about a friend of his, and this buddy of his lives primarily in Spain, and he, in the last year or so, I'm not 100% sure when, but he in the last year or so had a full-blown body breakdown, like a health disaster, where he essentially had been pushing himself, he had been working hard, and he had only been getting himself by on like 5 cans of Monster Energy a day. He had pushed his body so hard, he had not been eating healthily enough, he hadn't been eating enough at all. Because the thing about stimulants is that they satisfy your dopamine as well, and they stop you from, you won't feel hungry. You will skip meals a lot of the time if you're having that much caffeine. So he's having all of these, coffees, he's having all of these monsters a day. His heart's beating out of his chest every day because that's what it does. It speeds up your heart rate, it makes him less tired. And then at some point, he just called the hospital and they said, you were this close, man. You were this close to, dying. Because Monster is so high in sugar, he has diabetes now. And once you have diabetes, you can't cure it. You've got it now. So he now has type 2 diabetes because he just needed to stay awake and kept drinking Monster Energy. You need to eat good food and, a little bit of caffeine. Everybody has a little bit of caffeine. Whatever. You don't need to give it up. But, guys, all I'm saying, eat food. Eat good food. Don't skip breakfast. Don't skip lunch. And have a decent dinner at the end of the day. You have to, okay? And remember, even though they're not perfect, stuff like Huel, meal replacement shakes, I'm very easy. I forget a lot of the time to eat, but these things, they are nutritionally complete. It is far better to have one of those than it is to do nothing, all right? If you're eating nothing, much rather, you need to have like something to replace that meal. And a meal replacement shake is not ideal, but they are nutritionally complete and they will fill you up. It's so much better than nothing. So much better than nothing. Anything that comes pre-built in a bottle is going to be quite high in sugar, so you got to be careful with it, but they're better than nothing. Guys, I know it's fun and quirky and cool to say, oh, I didn't eat anything today. Oh, I'm on my 5th coffee. La, 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 la. You are going to die. It is going to catch up to you when you are in your 40s, 50s, whenever it is. Suddenly your body will not be able to keep up with that anymore, and you will see the consequences for that lifestyle. Okay? I'm just saying this because I care about you and I want you to be safe. Ewy, thank you for the super. Happy 50 months. Good Lord, 50 months. It still feels crazy. My cat just had surgery and now he's back to being his happy self. I'm really, really glad your cat's doing okay. Miss you, Demon. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Yeah, I feel really good giving people a very impassioned talk about not having coffee only for breakfast, but I love you too. Really like you. Thank you for the super. In fact, it's a recommended protein-focused breakfast and fiber-rich. Yeah, you need protein in the morning. This is why eggs are so good. Helps to avoid peaks of sugar. It's super true. Lollipop. Dada, I've been drinking mocha coffee for breakfast for 4 years and I'm still alive. 4 years is not that long in the grand scheme of things. I've been alive for 400 years. And let me tell you, your body is going to react to that after a while. After a while, if you keep doing that, your body is going to start to panic. You need to eat food. You need to have proper fuel. A coffee is not enough. Unless you're like blending a ton of dehydrated protein meal powder into your coffee to the point where it's equivalent to a meal with all the nutrients you require. That's not enough, okay? I care about you guys and I want you to eat well. You need fiber, you need protein, you need carbs, you need your vitamins. Do you know that if you don't have enough vitamin C or D, it's vitamin D. If you don't have enough vitamin D, you can get rickets. You can get rickets, which is like an old-timey disease where your bones like bend outward and you have weird-looking legs. All because you didn't get your supplements in, okay? Make sure, guys, eat well, all right? I'm just saying. Yeah, that's true, actually. Realize why youngsters keep acting like your life is over at 30. Yeah, if your diet and if your health habits are like that, you're going to feel a lot older at 30 than you should. You know, if you don't even have to do that much. I think, like, really, fast food is not great, but it's better than starving yourself. If you know, I'd say, you know, don't have like Burger King every day. But at the very least, like, if you're really stressed and you need food, just grab, you know, have a burger, it's fine. Having like little bits and pieces here and there, it's fine. Just anything you could do to eat somewhat healthily is going to make such a huge difference. Because, yeah, there are people out there who, you know, listen to me. You shouldn't follow my example. I'm different, right? Being 400 something and, you know, looking like a young man, that's not, you know, nobody can do that. So you can't aim for my de-aging goals, but you know, it's the difference between being up and about and moving and still living your life at 50 versus really feeling your health catch up to you in 50 and feeling like you don't have long left. You know, you need to eat better than this, guys. Come on. I'm allergic to the sun. They have supplements. If you're allergic to the sun, you gotta get supplements for vitamin D. It's essential. You need to take your vitamins. My dad is the biggest shill for vitamin D pills ever. He has been taking vitamin D supplements for like 20 years. Ever since he learned they existed, he's been taking them. And he is very, 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 very old, right? Far older than I am. Far, far older than I am. And I am old. I'm old as fuck. My dad is many. My dad is more than 1,000 years old, and he is still up and about. He plays golf. He plays golf at his old age. He has over the years he has aged, right? The way that demons work is that the closer you get to starving, your body does then start to age, right? So over the years, he has slowly aged. He roughly, I would say, his body is roughly equivalent to that of. It's like a lot of his friends are around late 60s to 70 years old, and I'd say he sort of has the fitness of like at least someone of around like their 40s, you know, because he eats healthily and he takes his vitamin D, and because the thing is, human beings, right? This is another thing about nutrition, about vitamin D. Human beings used to spend all day in the sun. Human beings used to be out hunting, gathering in the sun, getting loads and loads of vitamin D organically by being outside. None of us are getting enough vitamin D from the sun. None of us. Unless you are working outdoors in the sun all day, you're not getting enough. You need to take a supplement for vitamin D. It's really important. Just having just 1 second in the morning to just pop a supplement in and just to work up your vitamin D levels, it improves so much about your health, your skin, your bone density, bone health, and then, I mean, obviously vitamin C as well. You know, there are stories about people get scurvy. People get scurvy still if they don't have enough vitamin C. Yukimi, thank you for the super. Didn't really have a habit of eating breakfast. I'm going to start tomorrow. Yes. Eat breakfast every day, guys. I don't care what you're eating for breakfast. Make it something. If you don't have any, go to the shop, get a Uber Eats up, whatever. Get a box of cereal. It could be anything. Cornflakes, Frosties, Weetabix, whatever. Have cereal in the house. If you find it hard to eat breakfast every day, have cereal in the house. And then you will, at the very least, even if you're so tired and you can't bear the thought of having to cook yourself breakfast, or you can't afford to go out and get anything, you can pour some cereal into a bowl, put some milk in, and then you can have breakfast. And if you don't have any milk, if your milk's gone off, you have that cereal dry, because it's so much better than having nothing. Jennifer, thank you for the super. I only eat pizza every day because I have a fear of trying new foods. Get over it! Get over it! I don't want to be insensitive. You are going to die. If you can't get over this fear, I'm sure that something happened to you. I'm not trying to belittle your experience. But if you don't get over that fear and try new foods, you will die, okay? You cannot live on pizza. If you eat nothing but pizza every day, you are going to die. All right? I'm telling you right now, please listen. I know that your fears and I know that anxiety, trauma, whatever it is, makes it hard to change your lifestyle. It is so difficult, right? That pizza had better be covered in vegetables. It better be full of protein. You cannot live on pizza. Even pizza that has a load of healthy ingredients on it is fried and baked to shit. So much of the nutrition is ruined. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm telling you for your own good. There are some fears that you must overcome or you are going to die. You cannot live on pizza only, okay? I'm telling you right now. Again, please don't take this as me being mean. I just need you to understand that it will catch up to you one day. It will catch up to you one day. And again, my diet isn't perfect. I'm a very forgetful guy. I forget to cook for myself all the time. I order a lot of delivery. I have just pastries and pizzas and burgers and stuff if I need. The important part is you need to eat stuff. And most of what you eat needs to be healthy. You need a balanced diet. One day, if you keep going with that, one day you are going to go to the doctor not feeling well, and they're going to say, they're going to tell you have diabetes. They're going to tell you that something has happened to your body and there will be no going back. Today is the turning point. If any of you listening right now were under the impression that you were fine to keep eating fast food for every single meal of every day and that you were feeling fine right now, there's a chance that a lot of you are in your late teens, early 20s, whatever it is, you're 19, 21, 25, even if you're, going on 30, you probably aren't feeling the effects of your bad diet yet. You will. Given enough time, you will. And this is a big thing that is very, I don't think it's unwoke of me to say. A lot of the time, I think you guys and a lot of people around the world will use mental health issues as an excuse to harm themselves, and I don't mean self-harm in the traditional sense that I'm sure jumps to mind. I mean saying, I don't have to go outside and see people because I have anxiety, or I don't have to eat healthily because I'm afraid of new foods, or I don't have to go and get an education because because I'm agoraphobic, whatever it is. So much of these problems might be terrifying, but they are solvable, right? Do you want to know something that I have, right? I'm sure many of you are aware of this. 90% of you are. For those of you who don't, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed by a psychiatrist with ADHD, and that is a formal medical diagnosis, and I have been medicated for that ever since. Before I had the luxury of being able to have ADHD medication, which has changed my life for the better, I struggled massively with motivation to do household tasks, and I still do in many cases. A big one for me was doing the dishes. Washing the dishes in the sink it always took me ages. I would always be a stack of dishes and I would put it off for ages. But the fact is, even though I have ADHD, I can't sit there and say I don't have to do the dishes because I have ADHD. If most of my life I've lived alone. I had roommates for a brief time during uni. Obviously, for financial reasons, nobody can afford a solo place when they're in uni. For most of my life, I live alone. If I don't do the dishes, I've got nothing to eat my food off. Yeah, it's exhausting. But for me with ADHD, I find it exhausting. But I have to do it. Somebody has to do it. It's not going to be anybody else, so it's got to be me. And then even if it hits a point where all I'm doing is, okay, I need a knife and a fork and a plate to eat this meal, I will go to the sink and I will very diligently wash a plate, a knife, and a fork, and then that will be what I have the food with. It's not brilliant, but it's something. And you know what I did when I realized, the moment I could afford one, do you know what I did? I bought a dishwasher, and it changed my life. And ever since I have had a dishwasher, I have been completely fine. You need to find ways around these problems instead of sitting on your ass and saying I don't need to worry about this, it's not fair to me. No, you're right. If you have a mental health problem, it is not fair. that you need to deal with that, and you need to think about all of these problems all the time, and for those things to be harder. I believe you when you say that it is harder. I believe you when you say that you've struggled so much with all of these different parts of your life. 100%. I'm not taken away from that experience. But just saying and acknowledging that it is hard is not enough. In life, there are things that you need to do. There are things that you need to change about yourself. You know, like the amount of people who are saying that they're neurodivergent when they haven't even been diagnosed, and they're using that as an excuse to go to put off a million different responsibilities. Responsibility will find you. The more responsibility that you shirk, the more that you need to take from other people in your life. You know, a big one, God, the amount of people I know who come from families where basically what they're doing is these people, I'm naming no names, they don't work because they claim they've never even been diagnosed, but they claim to have ADHD, they claim to have autism or anxiety or anything like that, and they just don't work. They have never been, and then because they have parents that are well off that can support them, they still live with their parents. And there's nothing wrong with still living with your parents. It's a really fucking tough economy, when buying a house is the average median age of a home buyer in the US is 58 fucking years old. Living with your parents is nothing to be ashamed of at all. That's what you have to do. And in many cultures, it's normal to live with your parents until you're very old. But milking your parents for all they're worth because you can't, let's be honest, you can't be bothered to go to work. Obviously if you do have serious mental health issues, that's definitely something to bear in mind, but you can't just not work. You need to find a job that you can do. You need to find a purpose, because you need to find a purpose and you need to find your way through, because a lot of the time the idea of working, the idea of overcoming your problems is just you sort of stop, right? You stop at the first sign of resistance, and because you've been trying to avoid responsibility for so long, you just think, oh, well, it's fine. I guess I can't do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. I'm sorry. There comes a point in life when you have to do it. I'm really trying, but I'm afraid of what if I get food poisoning or something bad will happen. That does sound like you have a phobia or something like that, and I'm sure this is a real problem. It could be an eating disorder, and that's really tough, right? I personally don't know what it's like to have an eating disorder. I have no idea. I've never experienced that before, and if you do have an eating disorder, you have my strongest sympathies. Genuinely, it's such a difficult thing to deal with, and I've known people with eating disorders, and it's tough stuff. It is really, really tough to deal with. But that said, there must be some kind of momentum with figuring out, okay, what can I eat? Therapy is necessary. And if you're worried about, if you're worried about food poisoning, rely on food that doesn't spoil. Tinned food is a really, really great place to start. As well, fresh produce. Fresh produce does spoil, but for yourself, if you're paranoid about food spoiling, then sure, you can still have that. But why don't, instead of doing a shop for the week, why don't you shop and buy vegetables or fruits or whatever it is, and then only buy what you're going to have that day? Only buy what you're going to have that day. For example, if you buy an apple from the shop, eat it on the way home. And that, the chances of you getting any kind of disease from an apple that you have same day bought from a shop is, so astronomically low, so unbelievably low. And the thing about tinned food is that, yes, you can't have it all the time, but tinned food doesn't spoil generally. You can have tinned peaches, you can have tinned beans, you can have tinned pineapple. You can have some decently healthy stuff that has been sealed in a tin, and while it's in there, it will not go bad. It just won't. If you're afraid of food poisoning, like for example with cooked food, don't you don't need to have cooked food. You can have cold food. You can have cold veg. You can have pre-cooked stuff that is, that has been thoroughly done. But at the end of the day, another thing about food poisoning is that I'm sure in very rare cases it can kill you. But most of the time, even if you I've known plenty of people get food poisoning. It fucking sucks. It's nasty and you throw up all over the place and you feel like shit. But most of the time, food poisoning, you'll feel shit, but you will get better. You won't get better if you can't figure your diet out, So I hope that me kind of getting very passionate about that sort of thing hasn't stirred anything in the ED community, because having an eating disorder is a serious thing. And while I don't understand what that feels like, I know it's a real thing, and I know it's something that's really terrifying for a lot of people. But therapy matters, and healing matters, and there is no substitute. Your body is not going to let you survive any longer because you have this fear. It's not going to make an exception for you. You need to eat like everybody else eats, or it's going to catch up to you one day. So I'm sure you've got plenty of time. If you're a young adult, you do have time. You've got plenty of time to turn it around. Take today as the start to just say one food that you wouldn't normally eat, and then, just go and eat something that, eat an apple. Go to the shop and buy an apple, right? And then just pull it out of the bag on the way home, take a bite out of it, and eat it. And if you throw up, and if you can't stand it, fair enough. You can't eat apples. Throw away the apple, go back, buy a banana. Try and eat the banana. If the banana makes you throw up, go back and try something else. I promise that eventually, even though it might be really difficult, recently, a few years ago, my personal trainer told me, if you don't have the time to eat before we work out, have a banana. And I tried to have a banana, and the stickiness of it made me gag. I thought, oh God, I hate that. And I've not eaten bananas since. But I'm lucky enough to have had many other things I could have eaten. So I was having protein bars after that. Eventually, the more you try, you will find food that you like. They're not great for you, but it's better than eating pizza every day. Ready meals. A meal where all you have to do is put it in the microwave and put it on read the instructions and heat it for like 5 minutes, and then you're good. You have it's not the best meal in the world, but it's a full meal. It's nutritious, and it will definitely keep you going. Also, me harping on about cereal again, you're never going to get food poisoning from cereal. There is a lot of food out there that even in many circumstances will always be safe to eat. Yeah, so there's always something to do with it. But that's sort of what I believe. There is, no matter what it is you might be feeling, there is a path. There is a path, absolutely. Cereal has no nutritional value. It depends on the type of cereal. Okay, cornflakes probably not, but there's plenty of cereal that does. Get those cereal that has oats, oaty cereal, porridge, brilliant. Porridge is great. Oats, perfect, right? Get some oats, get some rolled oats, make some porridge in the morning. Really, really easy to do. Oats filled with protein. Filled with protein oats. And then if you're feeling up for it, blueberries in the porridge. Just stick some blueberries in the porridge. Bang! That's a really, really good breakfast. That's a really bloody healthy breakfast. Oaty cereal. There's some cereal which is oat-based and has dried strawberries in it. Oh, that's really good for you. It's not the best, but it's not nothing. That's good for you. That's going to help you after a while. Yeah. Also, I think the main thing is therapy. The main thing is definitely therapy, but just remembering, most food out there is safe. Most food is safe. And again, I'm not a professional. I can't claim to be able to cure eating disorders overnight, but nutrition and your health is incredibly important. And I care about you all so much, and I want you to be healthy, and I want you to be happy. And, it's really important. It's really important. Nade, thank you for the super. Sorry if I misheard anything. I know it's hard to overcome things, but listening to you made me want to try. I have an anxiety disorder, and your words really helped. That's the thing. I don't want anyone to be under the impression that I do not believe in mental health issues, because I have them myself, all right? I have been diagnosed with ADHD. My psychiatrist also strongly believes that I have PTSD, and also I'm very shy in public situations, and which is bizarre considering my line of work. I have a whole lot of problems. I have friends that have strong anxiety. I have friends that have OCD. I have literally a lot out of my IRL friends, 60% of them have autism. It just goes so far. The fact is, the hard part about mental health issues is that they are issues for a reason. They are not your fault. A mental health problem is not something that you did. It happened to you, and that is not fair. And we can acknowledge that that is a really fucked up thing. But the unfortunate thing about a mental health issue is it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You need to find a way to exist in society. You need to find a way to improve your health. And some people out there, their mental health issues will never be improved, and they may die as a result. And that is a tragedy. That is an absolute disaster. Some people will have an eating disorder that is so bad that they starve to death, and that is a tragedy. That is a horrendous loss of life, and their life is no less valuable and no more. You'll never be too far gone, or whatever it is. Every one of those victims is incredibly sad, and that's what they are, as a victim. But you should never take those examples as a sign that you should give up. You should never take the sign that something horrible happened to you, you have trauma, and it's stopping you from living a good life. You should never, ever, 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 ever take it as an excuse or as a red flag that says, hey, you're not going to make it, because you can. I promise you, you can make it. Certain things out there, about 30 years ago, I knew somebody who I now know to have OCD. And this guy would vomit at the sight of anything even remotely disgusting. Human bodily fluids. If somebody blew their nose, he would throw up. If somebody cleaned their ears with a Q-tip, he would throw up. If somebody sneezed, he would throw up. Literally, and we now know that was OCD. But for a long time, we didn't know. That guy, that was 30 years ago. He's still alive. He has had a really, really rough go of it. But he is married. He has had children. He has been working a job. He works from home so he can avoid exposure to other people. He is married. He has 2 beautiful children. And as far as, I've not spoken to him in many years, but as far as I'm aware, he is happy. If you can believe it, someone with that much of a problem to deal with is happy. And that, I think, is inspiration enough, to no matter what I'm going through. I think that that's inspiration enough for all of us, isn't it? It's the hardest part, because no, it's not fair. It's not fair. How do you manage children? With a very, very resilient wife. An incredibly resilient wife, the kind of woman who could handle the children all on her own and understood her husband's limitations and would do it, and just did it all. And even then, it was hard. There was a lot from those kids that would have set him off, but for him, it was worth it. It was worth the managing, having those symptoms and still putting up with those symptoms because he loved his children. That's a really important thing, the story that I like to think about all the time. So that's all I'm saying, is that it's so not fair, and it's so easy to take a lot of what you're going through as an excuse to say, I can't do this, or I shouldn't have to do this. But you must find a way to live your life. And just surviving right now, It's enough, but it won't be enough forever. There will come a time when you need to do more. There will come a time when you need to get a job. There will come a time when you need to think about your health. There will come a time when you really want to go and do something. There will be a time when your favorite band is performing in a town that you can get to, and you're terrified because whether you don't want to go outside, whether you're afraid of people, afraid of crowds, but you really want to go see this concert. There will come a time when you will hate the fact that it's hard. And even there will be some people whose issues are so debilitating that they may not be able to take that step. But if you think you could, if you think that there's even the slightest chance in hell that you could force yourself to go through, to face your fears and to do something that you know you will love, then I'm telling you, you have to fucking do it, okay? You've got to do it because you will prove so much to yourself. You will prove to yourself, oh my God, the way that your life will change. It will be unbelievable. I'm trying to think of more people. I've known other people who have been afraid of that sort of thing, and then a lot of you, many of you guys have given me updates about your life. They'll say, oh, I used to be depressed, and then I watched you, and now I've got a degree. Now I've done this. Now I've done that. There's a video, an insane video of a guy who, I can't recall if he has this condition because of an accident or if he had it at birth. But there is an athlete who has no legs. He's a gentleman who uses his arms only. He is a torso and he is a pair of arms, and he has no legs or lower body whatsoever. And he has set a world record for the hands-only 100-meter sprint. And he's an incredibly motivated guy. He's got an incredible body. He doesn't have a lower body, but his upper body looks incredible because he didn't give up. And it's, God, I would not blame anybody who had no legs. I would not blame anybody who had no legs for never going outside. I would be like, yeah, if I had a friend who had no legs and they said, yeah, I don't want to go outside, I'd be like, fair enough, man. You've got some real shit to deal with that. You've got so much to work through. But this fucking guy is out there on the track every single day working on it, and he is motivated, and he's got a big smile on. And, we have the Paralympics. We have a whole secondary Olympics purely for people who have these disabilities. People who people with no arms, who aim bows and arrows with their toes, right? Yes, swimmers. People with no arms and legs can still swim, if you can believe it. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. I mean, there is so much more out there that you can actually do than you think. And this all started because I was thinking of, because, we had that example of somebody, I remember who it was. It's just, for the sake of clips, I won't name anybody because I'm sure this will be clipped. But, somebody saying that they only eat pizza because they're afraid of getting food poisoning. And, sort of, I would hate to think about this beginning somewhere mean-spirited because, I do care so much about this sort of stuff. There are so many reasons to be afraid. But life is so much more important than that. Life is so much more important than just, than the amount of things you can't do. There are so many more things that you can do. You just haven't found what they are yet. Jen, I'm going to, because you guys are right, this has changed her health around, so I'm going to have her help me through it. She offered to take me to the gym and told me to try healthy foods. You should take it slow. I'm not sure if you've been to a doctor about eating disorders. If you have an eating disorder, it may be very, very, very difficult for you. But if you trust your sister, then, I'll leave that up to you. What this is going to be is it's going to be a journey. It's going to be very difficult. But I really do believe in you. I believe that you have every ability to make this work for yourself, and I'll be very, very proud of you. Every little bit of progress you make, I'll be proud of you. I want to hear from you, all right? I want to hear from you. If you manage to eat anything that's not pizza, I want to hear about it. I want you to let me know, It doesn't have to be a super chat or anything like that. Just showing up in chat saying, hey, I ate a banana today. I ate an apple. I ate, even if it's a burger, even if it's a chicken sandwich, even if it's that, any progress is progress. And I'm very, very happy for you. Yeah, jumping straight in is going to be a lot, but you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So that's, that's everything I wanted to say. That's even it's a singular grape, the one grape of wrath. You can do it. For me, whenever I try to give these pep talks, I often say, I feel like I say the same thing 1,000 times. I say so much in order to get a point across, and I think I just say the same thing over and over with lots of different words. But that's just me. That's just me. The thing is that in order to sort of round out this out, and I think my voice is getting pretty tired, so I'm going to end stream as well. But the summary of what I'm saying is mental health issues, physical issues, anything that you've got can be incredibly difficult, and it can seriously limit what it is you're able to do with your life. But you are capable of doing more. It might be terrifying, and it might be so much worse than you can imagine, but it is possible. And I want for all of you to be able to experience all of the brilliant things that life has to offer. I've never had an eating disorder, but I used to be a really picky eater. Learning to discover brilliant foods, learning to discover, fantastic extra tastes. When I went to Japan for the first time and tried sushi for the first time, oh my lord, I discovered so much about myself. I discovered so much about food, and ever since then I've been trying food from all over the world. Again, I don't have an eating disorder. I don't know how hard this has been for you, but I hope someday that maybe you can, learn to get past that, and you can find some therapy, and you can be able to eat a little bit more, because that's, it's a beautiful thing. And again, I don't even know if you have an eating disorder. It sounds like you do, but I'm not a professional, so therapy is needed if you struggle to eat that much. But yeah, where's my water? There it is. I have this big water bottle, and I keep swapping it over. I keep swapping it over left to right and right to left. But yeah, it's also, another thing is like, don't take it to mean like, what am I trying to say here? Don't become, you can feel accomplished when you overcome something, but don't get obsessed with the idea of your own suffering, in a sense, because I think a lot of people online tend to participate in a bit of a suffering Olympics where they'll say like, oh, you only slept for 3 hours last night? Well, I only slept for 2 and I've had 7 coffees. And it's like, well, yes, it can feel kind of nice to feel like you won at feeling bad. But when it comes down to it, any solution or technique that you have to overcome your problem, you should. The bed to computer chair gif. Now that's a big one, right? That's a big one. There's a gif going around on Twitter recently of this guy where it's like he gets into a chair to go on his computer and then gets in bed and then gets out of bed and onto the computer and then gets back in bed and just back and forth, computer bed. I want people saying, oh, I live like this. I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is something I have to remember as well, because I get really locked in and I sit down for long periods of time. You need to stand up. Now, I would like to say a huge apology to those of you who are in wheelchairs. Obviously, this does not apply to you. Sitting down for long periods of time can cause problems with blood flow. For example, there was a quote tweet from that where a guy talked about how his brother lived that way for a long while, and he died because he developed something called deep vein thrombosis, where blood clots in your legs, and if a clot from that breaks off, and it's not common, by the time it reaches that, your legs will be red and swollen, but at the same time, that does happen over time. And if a part of that blood clot breaks off and it gets to your heart, you may very well have a heart attack and die. And it's so simple. Even if it's just every hour, every 30 minutes or so, standing up, stretching for like 5 seconds and then sitting back down, or, standing up for as long as you can, just doing whatever it is. Just little things, staying active in the slightest little ways and eating as healthily as you have the means to do. Little things like that. You must not take any advice from your own mental illness, right? You must not listen to that little voice in your head that says you don't have to do this because you're tired. You don't have to do this because you have anxiety. Oh, you have anxiety about hearing your knees crack or something that somebody has, You have anxiety. No. You need to stand up. Oh, you have anxiety about pulling a muscle when you stretch. You just, stretch a different muscle. Stretch slower. Stretch a little bit. Don't stretch. Maybe just adjust your posture and look out a window or something like that. Just the littlest little things. Just make a little bit of progress every single day. The slightest thing that you can do. If it's, what the fuck did Martin Luther King say? If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But we must keep moving forward. And obviously he was talking about the progression of race relations, but I think it's a beautifully inspiring quote regardless. And the school I worked at had had a mural with that on it, and I read it every day, and I thought, like, man, that was a very wise man. Yukimi, thank you very much for the super. It's been trying the foods you eat. It's really expanded what I enjoy. I'm so proud of you. Streams help me relax and feel better. Thank you so much. And Angelia, thank you for the super. Waini, thank you so much for the super. And Cindy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you so very much. Sunny, thank you for the super. My relationship with food was tough, but good thing I've started cooking dinner for myself. Oh, well done. Cooking dinner for myself. I do it less now because I'm, a lot more busy. But back when I was in uni, obviously I was doing a film degree, so I had a load of free time. And cooking dinner was such a big part of my day. I was so into cooking, and it made me so happy. It was good for the soul. That's what my dad always says. Cooking is just really good for the soul. So if you can, cooking little bits, doing little bits, little bits and pieces here and there, it is so worth it. And I'm going to be very proud of you all if you manage to do even the littlest thing. Okay. So I'm going to go. Because very hypocritically, I've been sat down for 3.5 hours without stretching, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get up, I'm going to stretch, because this is a problem for me. I forget as well. So don't let me saying, eat healthy, get out, stretch, whatever. Don't let that become a, me saying, I'm better than you because I do these things, because I struggle with this as well. I don't stretch a lot. I will be sat down for many hours at a time. I will eat a lot of fast food. I will not have a balanced diet. I'll forget to drink water. I, will do all of those things. Just because I know that it's wrong doesn't mean that I'm not aware of that. And at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here saying, I'm... You know what it is? You know what I could say? You know what I could wind up saying? Is, I don't want to stand up because I have ADHD and I'm hyper-focused on my computer right now. Get up! Get up so you don't have a heart attack, man. Pull yourself together. Come on. You can stay hyper-focused while you stand up. Come on. Do as I say, not as I do. Well, I'm trying to do it. It's a process for everybody. I'm not perfect. I'm conscientious about these things, but I do forget. But I'm trying, just like anybody else. I'm far from perfect. And, I know that's the same for everybody. I'm hyper-focused on the screen, or it's like, like that guy who had autism, he said his special interest was cheating on his wife or whatever it is. It's like, I'm autistic and my special interest is feeling blood pool in my toes. Well, I don't know what that feels like, but I mean, you need, I'm just going to say it, like this special interest is going to put you in a grave. Like, if a guy, listen, I know that's a bit silly, but if a guy with autism can claim to have a special interest for cheating on his wife, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But yeah, on that note, I think that, say thank you very much for the super. Missed your yapping. I love to yap. So today we have had lots of discussion of animals and then me getting very passionate about nutrition. So you never know what you're going to get. A Vox stream is like a box of chocolates, and they're fine to eat in moderation. But yes, I think that's going to do it for me today. I think I'm going to log off. This is probably one of the longest Zatsus we've done. 3.5 hours. Goddamn. But yeah, had a lovely stream today. Pei-chan, thank you for the super. I love you too. And I'm going to stream again tomorrow. Not sure what I'm going to do. Might be more lads. Might be something else. Damien, thank you for the super. Special interest is literally that. I just think that's so cool. I think that's so cool. Yeah, had a lovely time. And just as a final reminder, I know whether you've got mental health issues or not, you know your own life best. And if you do genuinely have some condition that makes a lot of what I talked about today impossible, I don't hate you. I don't think that you're lying. I don't think that you have some huge problem. I don't think that you're like a compulsive liar or whatever it is. I don't know your life. I don't know your limitations. But just like I say, my advice applies to whoever happens to hear it and relate to it. If my advice, if I'm saying stand up and you have no legs, then obviously I'm not talking about you. If I say stand up and you are, paralyzed from the neck down, obviously I'm not talking about you. And I cannot fathom the bravery that you have to keep living every single day with such a physical impairment. You are an absolute hero simply for staying alive. And really, I think that goes for everyone. I think that whether you have mental health issues or not, whether you have an eating disorder or not, whether you struggle with anything or not, for simply staying alive in today's world with everything we have to be afraid of, all of you, I think, are heroes in your own right for continuing to preserve your own life, your own health, your own happiness in whatever way that you are. I think that you are a hero. And that goes for everyone regardless. Even if you have fallen into bad habits, even if you've fallen into the habit of letting your mental health stop you from doing things that you really need to be doing, you are still worthy of love and affection, and you are still worthy of happiness no matter what happens. Just bear in mind that if there's a chance that you can heal yourself, if there's a chance that you can see therapy and get a little bit better, then I really think that you should. I think that you should take that chance. If you ever have the chance to do something good for yourself, you should fucking take it. All right? Wolflad, thank you very much for the super. I'm so glad that you've been socializing more. And yeah, no, me too. Me too. I've been scared of socializing for a lot of reasons from my past as well. And I still feel that. I still get a lot of fear out of, when I make new friends and I don't know what their intentions are. But it's not going to stop me. I love people. I want to meet as many new people as possible. And that's, come what may. If there are consequences for me making friends, fuck it. I'm at the very least, if everything goes wrong, I will have friends to go through that pain with. Sabina, thank you so much for the super, for the gifted, sorry. I love you very much. Thank you very much. Lays, thank you for the super. I'm glad that you enjoyed the talk. I love you too. Mia Lively, thank you for the super. Have a wonderful rest. I will. And Angelia, thank you for the super as well. Love you so, so much. All right. Zia, thank you for the super. I will see you all tomorrow. But in the meantime, just try and find ways to improve your life in little bits and pieces. And no matter what you do, no matter how little it is, I'll be proud of you, because you got to remember, these two phrases mean the same thing. The job's not finished. And tomorrow is another day. Zia, thank you very much for the super. And I will see you tomorrow for another day.